We'll go ahead and hit record, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to... Why? How do I switch to Vengeance? Let me guess, I have to actually go talk to a trainer, don't I? Not yet, Dakota. You need to go to... I suddenly don't care. Let's see here. What was I supposed to pick up? I think it was Deadly Reprisal. I don't remember what else. Alright, card. Vigilant, you want in? If you're there. I will take that as a yes. Man, I gotta be honest, if I was a legend, then you guys have some crummy legends. Oh yeah, that's the one that turns that into a heal. For the sake of having a heal, I'll go and grab that. What do we got down here? Ooh, yes. Immediately commit to that. Are we all here? We are not all here, but I'm going to start it. Wong. Get off my screen. There we go. Where is... He's on Tatooine. Got it.
You've arrived at last. Good.
Actually, I probably shouldn't do that. I should probably wait since he's actually coming with us. Vigilant! Vigilant! I hope so, Zacteft. I don't think it will be, but I hope so. Well, you haven't heard the Legend of the Crazy Norse and the Dragon Quest Builders 2 premiere run? Once upon a time, there was a crazy Norseman. Shut up. I'm messing. I'm messing. I don't even remember what the purpose is in going to the other ships. I know there's something over there. I just don't remember what. Where's Malavine? Get out of my party. Oh, he is out. We have that out. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. Oh yeah. So Vet has an outfit now. I decided to go with that one. It's kind of plain, but it's nice and armory, and I think it suits her. And she's gone. But that's okay. Yeah, at this point, maybe we should actually have, like, a queue, like we used to do back for multiplayer Sundays, you know, and just kind of rotate through it.
You've arrived at last. Good. Each of you has seen things no mind is meant to endure. You've struggled against the power of Sith dead for centuries.
Oh, I remember this one.
You're not willing to face the darkness again. Leave now, and I will forget your existence.
I'll fight the whole galaxy if I have to.
I'll take that as a scent. 1,000 years ago, the planet Aethys held the sanctum of Vodal Kresh, greatest of the Sith alchemists. Vodal was a mad savant who bred a race of slaves devoted to his glory. His hunger and spite were endless, and when he died, the Emperor declared Aethys forbidden.
Let me guess. Someone found Vodal's old sanctum.
2 days ago, we detected a signal from Aethys' surface. We believe a Republic survey party landed and disturbed the ruins. Something is stirring on the planet. Whether it's idiot explorers or Vodal's mad legacy, it cannot be allowed to escape.
What about the Emperor?
You said Aethys was forbidden. Now you want me to go down there.
The breach has already occurred, and the edict no longer applies. I will take full responsibility. Go to Aethys, eliminate whatever prowls Vodal's sanctum, and remove the scriptures he left behind. Let none of Vodal's power fall into enemy hands. Stop them from unleashing something uncontrollable.
If nothing else, the nice thing about these dungeons is they give us some characterization from Malgus. So yeah, I remember now why I forgot this dungeon. Because it's terrible and boring and awful and terrible. I've actually done Aethys once. And I remember it, and we were like, okay, let's go ahead and do it. Wait, that's it? And that was literally... He said that before I did. Wait, that's it? Yeah, I think that's it. Well, that was lame. Damn. Oh, right. We'll see how it holds up. As I've said before, I don't actually think any of the vanilla instances are any good, other than the first two. But this is a review. Now, did we give a plus for customization? Because we should have. We didn't. We need to get pluses for that. How many pluses should the game get for the way you can customize? Oh, of course I can. Seriously, because Javan's awesome, and we need to give Javan all of the pluses for being awesome. Let's see, that's 6 for Cyber Shadow. Thank you very, very much, Javan. Appreciate as always. Thank you. Where the hell am I?
I don't know who's hearing this, but most of us are already dead.
Huh. Okay. That's the wrong button. God damn it. Let's, there we go. We're here, hey! Well, no, that's the point, Crazy Norse. Malgus is actually a pretty cool character by memory. Where the hell are we? God. Look away from my screen for 1 second. So one way this game is very similar to Final Fantasy XIV is the animations don't sync up with when things happen. You actually have already seen this happen once in this particular run, where I die pretty suddenly, and then the attack that killed me finishes playing. That's... And it takes a little bit of mental adjustment to get used to, and I believe there is some server-side latency involved in that as well. Just a little bit. It's in milliseconds, but it's noticeable, especially if you're in the middle of doing something that's actually hard. This is an appropriate song for this base. Anywho, so customization. This is a good time to talk about that, because this is a very boring dungeon. So, I think at a bare minimum, the amount of cosmetic customization deserves a plus. I could easily argue it to be a second plus, because we've got the cosmetic suit, which you can have on top of whatever you're wearing regardless, on top of the fact that you can dye your equipment, on top of the fact that you can mix and match at will if you choose to, on top of the fact that there's an entire classification of gear which is specifically usable by everyone at every level for transmog. Like, far be it from me to praise a game for going full tilt into cosmetics, but this game has gone pretty full tilt into cosmetics. And I do think that's a good thing. Let's melt back. In fact, I would say this and WoW are basically tied for cosmetics, but mostly because they both do different things better than the other. Like, WoW could use some lessons from this game, and this game could take some lessons from WoW when it comes to cosmetics. Then I can say the same thing about FF14, so, you know.
Ready Siths come for us. Well, they try to make converts. They worship some sort of Sith legend. I have to go.
Okay. Yeah, there's also a lot of color crystals, which is funny in its own right. See, here's the funny part. Did you know color crystals also affect blasters? It affects the little pshh that goes out, which can lead to some very funny-looking blaster shots under the right circumstances. Like, it can be amusing. My personal favorite is, so if you got the game at launch, you get this orange and black color crystal, which just does not look good. But orange and black blaster shots are hysterical. Oh yeah, you can have pink blaster shots, or blue blaster shots, or white blaster. I mean, pretty much you'd pick it. There is a lot of customization options. How are you not dead? Die! God. Oh, excuse me, yellow. Sorry. Whatever. One time I was playing in a party with no Force users. So we had a... Oh, God, well, it was like a bounty hunter healer, and then a bounty hunter tank, and then like a 2-agent DPS or something like that. All of us had different blaster crystals, so it was just... It actually looked amusing. A little ridiculous, but amusing.
Our leader was a fool. The Republic sent us to this planet to learn, to see. And we have seen so much. We hear his voice in our minds.
Not the exact loadout, but probably, Cord. I was the tank, consequently. Listen, Cthulhu, he's just hanging out, alright? He's got some things going on. He's just a big old softy, really. You get him a nice cuddly cat, he just melts. I'm going to survive this. I guess that's a good thing. I was going to show off what I meant about the death thing. See you around, Javin. Alright. Gotta change that button. So angry. So angry. Okay, agreed, von Falkenstein. I mean, it makes a degree of sense. If you're going to limit yourself to 4 classes, you need to have at least 2 healers. So, what are the options? Make the Jedi Knight a healer?
A cleanup crew? No matter. You will embrace his word, as we did.
Got it. Consider me embraced. Oh, that's not what you meant. Oh, I'm sorry.
Shall rise again, and we will be his favored children.
Uh-huh. Yep, that's gonna be a thing that happens. Totally how this is gonna go down. How did you know? This boss has the incredibly complex mechanic of summoning ads periodically.
We will never lay hands on his work.
His servants have waited for 1,000 years. They will slay you and return to the stars.
I would agree. I honestly think the Sarlacc shouldn't even exist in Star Wars. I've said that before, and I'll say it again. So now, do we be good or bad? There's at least one good or bad in most of these. There's several in Black Talon and whatever the Republic one is. Meanwhile, Vigilant is just pure evil over there. Puppies. Wait until we get to Tatooine, which is next, actually, and we'll finally show off Puppy Guy. Like, you guys have seen me be like, dead puppies several times. All of that is inspired by this game. And Puppy Guy on Tatooine. See if I can remember exactly where he is. Pretty sure I know where he is. Twong. Yeah, the Sarlacc pit, we're just gonna headcanon that out. There we go. Sarlacc's dead. As it should be. All of them. Everywhere. Forever. Oh yeah, we saved the Republic, guys. Yay! Yay! So, Sci-Fi Debris commented on this, and he's not the only one. TOR dungeon design, back in the day, I don't really know if this qualifies anymore, but back in the day, TOR dungeon design was so terrible that people would go to ridiculous, lengthy attempts to do anything they could to simply not have to fight one trash bag, because it was that just, to go through. In some cases, it was literally longer to avoid the trash than to fight them. People still preferred to do that. Now, you could say all you want about, people's preference and how they just weren't actually thinking about it, or they were trying to go quicker and therefore they went slower, or however you want to think about that, but I think it's just interesting to point out when it comes to the dungeon design of this game. Oh, thank God, we have to fight one less trash bag. I'm admittedly in more the WoW mentality, where there's not that much trash, at least in modern dungeons, and it's pretty much always going to be right in the way, and it's also not that irritating or frustrating to fight. 14 has gotten in that direction too. Now, old FF14 dungeons have the exact same problem. That's actually a good question. So I didn't see any option or toggle for a story mode. So I defer to my chat. Story mode, question mark? Yeah, but that doesn't answer my question. I didn't even see a story mode option. So according to Darth Tyrant, this dungeon does not have a story mode option, which answers my question. I don't know if this is actually true anymore, but once upon a time, in several of the heroic areas, again, this is vanilla experience, they had this weird design choice, which on paper I was actually down for. But it was an interesting design choice. So what it was every mob had the same basic damage output. The only thing that changed was the amount of HP they had. So they would throw you after, a group of like 1 elite, 3 signatures, and like 5 regulars. And so the best tactic was to absolutely blitz the regulars down as quickly as possible to reduce the amount of damage you were taking, since they were doing exactly as much damage as the gold was. Yeah, I guess I'll get angry really quick. Oh, I'm angry! Okay, we're good. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure what I think of that design choice. Oh, and there come the lawnmower people. Time to mute. Well, the idea, Tesla, is to make there an actual tactical choice, rather than just... It's not much, but it does emphasize prioritization and targeting when it comes to pushing through those sections. Whoops. Yes, Zactaft. Without hesitation. God. Solidus. Yeah, I can see that. Although, having the arms would be even better. Oh, hey, boss number 2. A big beast. Now, you gotta be careful in this fight, guys. This guy has the incredible tactics of being a large enemy. I'm just kidding. There's usually only one really boring boss fight in these. You know, a stat boss, as I like to say. We'll talk about Vitier later. And by later, I mean probably next year. Because it doesn't really matter for this story, ironically. So as you can see, this enemy summons ads. I read less. Got a lot of HP, too. Collision? What the hell is that? That's pretty normal at this point. I can name on one hand the number of MMOs I know of that actually have collision when it comes to enemies. Unboosted dungeons. So do you mind clarifying your comment, Crazy Horse? I mean, I know we're 70 in here, and I have no idea why, but I'm still doing this at level. Let me get on its back. There we go. You know, this dungeon does not deserve this song. Or this song. Wow, that's just on random, too. There, we'll go with this song. That's a good one. This Veteran Master, I have no idea. I didn't see any options when we came in here, so just sort of walked in. Thought about it, Leander. I really did. But that joke would get old very quickly. I'm kind of fire and forgetting when it comes to my playlist right now. Oh good, multiple champions in one room at the same time. My favorite type of trash. When I last did this FP, there was no level scaling or modes or anything whatsoever. No, Tesla. Probably exact out. Confusion. So I don't know what the de-aggro rules on instances are in this one. But I'm in aggro. Yeah, Vitier is spelled pretty weirdly. By Tayati. Aggro rules are in a second here. In some MMOs, they've got a leash in instances. In some MMOs, they never leash. And in some MMOs, they leash depending on if they literally can't find you. In this case, they definitely did not leash at the normal distance, so now we're going to die. So the goal in this situation is to try and kill one target and fail at it. So that's how death works in instances in here, consequently. There are checkpoints, which is, I'd say, the first positive thing I can say about this dungeon. Right, Tesla. The will of the Force flows through me. Probably make that happen. Or I could get stuck in the terrain. Come on, game. There we go. Jesus. This freaking game. So that guy we're almost assured to aggro. Let's find out today. Yep, there he is. He's aggroed. Now, we need to move him or kill him quickly, because that guy's coming, and then, you know, we'll be fighting two of these guys. There we go. Just giving some commentary, don't mind me. I'd rather pull him back a little more, but I don't have a yank, so... Hope. No, too late. Nah, we're probably dead. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, we're definitely dead now. That's 3. Whoa, that is a hell of a yank. Or a yonk, excuse me. The opposite of a yank. I don't think I have enough damage to do anything worth a damn against this guy before we all die. Let's find out. Let's kill one guy. Okay, one guy's dead. Oof, we did it. They're both equally damaged. I'm just gonna... we would have been fine if we pulled him down, Dakota. Just stun him for a minute. Yeah. A minute, I mean like 5 seconds, because my stun's kind of crap. Mind. This now. Now, what's interesting is nobody's releasing. Now, I mentioned that's interesting because I have a feeling they can't release. That's just a guess, really. So apparently you can't release in combat, which, in my opinion, is a really dumb decision. Not being able to release during a boss fight makes a degree of sense. But not being able to release while in combat at all? That's stupid. I'm going to jot that down into an aggregate negative. I mean, all that is a time waster at the end of the day. Oh yeah, Wong. Hello, Dimitri. Well, I'm not a druid, Von Falkenstein. I can't res in combat. God, man. Or a warlock. Because warlocks can do that too. I wonder. Hey, what do we got here? Another live cooldown. Okay, there's the button. What was that? Ah, it didn't even matter. Hey, and my speeder's faster. Yay. Oh yeah, there's probably good dungeons in this game. I've never seen any outside of the first two, but they're probably there. Maybe. So let's do this more properly this time. Because we did actually kill the guy in the way. So he's not an issue now. There is, however, a pat down here. Okay. I guess that's fine. Good morning, Tabletop Tim. I chose the destroy everyone with my lightsaber proficiency. Zip, zip, zip. There's a pat. I was right.
He has been waiting for you. He will take your bodies and your ship. The galaxy will be his again.
Yeah, totally. That's a thing that's happening. No, just... no. Cooldown. Oh yeah, Crazy Horse. You know it. Oh yeah, I'm not actually doing crafting this time around. I mean, I guess I should for the sake of reviewing, but God, I don't want to. I actually did an extensive amount of crafting back in the day. Me and my friend coordinated it, so we covered basically everything between us. It was a colossal pain. Boss time.
I speak in his name, the Lord of Heart and I. Such fools! How could you hope to challenge us? This was his place of power. You are nothing here!
What I thought. So now we've upgraded from a boss that summons ads to a boss that summons ads that you just have to not get hit by.
This was his place of power. You are nothing here!
Come on up here. Come here. It's okay. Who's a good fire? Who's a good fire? Come here. Come here. Okay. We've gotten to the close-ups of the Enterprise, so it's gotten to the point where I can only get about 100 frames done a night. I don't know what you did, man, but holy crap, this one has been rendering so much slower than all the previous ones. Yikes.
This was his place of power. You are nothing here!
They're not after me this time. And then we have a dance party. Ah, there he is, there he is. Come here. Come here. Yeah. I wasn't in range to throw my lightsaber at him, guys. I should pick that up for a minute.
Rise. In another 1,000 years.
Nope. Spoilers. It does not have a minimum range, no. Oh, we beat the boss. We're done, yay. Nope, no minimum range. Now, this one might have a minimum range. Nope. Bigger cooldown, though. Alright, so here's what I want, Kay. I want the biggest, best, most amazing model you can find for TOS. What are our options? Are we done? We are done. Leave? I mean, I could fast travel out, but, Yeah, that's what I was just looking for. Oh, there it is. I see it. God, that is dinky. And also, I can't click it. I literally can't click it. That's hysterical. Wow. Okay. It's fine. Piece of junk. Come on. $17 negatives. Alright, we're good. Have to just shove everything out of the way there a bit.
This is Viken Space Dock to Darth Malgus. I have the artifacts of Vodal Kresh.
Then you possess all that remains of the Dark Lord. Whatever happened down there will not repeat itself. My augurs felt the final destruction of Vodal's spirit.
The beings I fought in Vodal's sanctum, his servants, what were they?
Vodal was an alchemist who filled a city with his slaves. It seems their evolution continued in the ruins, and their devotion never faded. As to the artifacts, the Dark Council will choose whether to destroy Vodal's work. I would see his name wiped from our history. There is no place for Sith Lords who place themselves above the Empire, not among the living or the dead.
Even the Emperor.
Arrogance is never lacking in men of ambition, living or dead.
So we keep watch. We are done for now. Rest, and know you have done the Emperor's will.
Sorry, I'm typing, if it's not obvious. Okay, that should be sufficient. Yeah, dinged. Woo! So we're going to get rid of all these potential negatives. That's terrible. And we're going to add those codified negatives. Travel, spacing, side quests, combat, encounter design, inability to swap, space combat, early dungeons. All of those are codified. Oh, actually, there's two potentials here. And I know what you're saying. You should wait until later. No, we're 2 days into this game, and it's already a problem as of now. Remember, length of game can be good or bad, depending on how good or bad they do it. What's the next one? We did Hammer Station, we did Aethys. Is it Mandalorian? Hang on, I was looking at the list earlier. Hey, Nosians, thank you very, very much. Much obliged and appreciate the sub, as always. I'll put that towards Wargroove, which is probably not going to be nearly as much as good as I want it to be, but I'm still looking forward to it. Flashpoint. Let me just double check something really quick, which is this. There we go. So we did the Acellus. That's the one on the other side, the Acellus. And then we had Hammer Station Aethys. Then we have Mandalorian Raidens, Katamimu. And then Boarding Party, Terrell 5, The Foundry. Where the hell is Calicoid? Oh, Calicoid's way down there. Jeez Louise. Any MMO where length is a good thing. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about that. Even WoW has a lot of the negative problems I've already given this game. Witcher 3 is not an MMO last I checked. Although if it is, then I've been doing something very wrong. Yeah, we still haven't actually judged that Tesla effect. Because I asked you guys a question, and then we got off talking about DCUO, or whatever it's called. So, I kind of want to get Mandalorian out of the way now, especially since we're standing right here. So, who wants to join us for the Mandalorian Raiders?
This is Viken Space Dock to Darth Malgus, awaiting instructions.
Good. Time is short, and I will be brief. You are aware of the Empire's pact with the Mandalorians. Mercenary clans supported us during the war, and we paid them well. But the treaty has made them restless. Now Clan Varad has broken with the Mandalorian leadership and declared Hakan Gan, the search for battle.
Would that we could all have such simple goals.
I admire their passion, but their methods are self-destructive. Clan Varad has begun a series of raids against both Republic and Imperial colonies, slaughtering our soldiers and demanding tribute. These traitors must be eliminated. I have persuaded Mandalore to sanction their destruction and provide their location.
If Clan Varad wants a fight, they'll be waiting for just such an attack.
Which is why their defeat will be an example to any other clans courting rebellion. But you're right, to think it a trap. Observe.
The Alustus was being upgraded at the Fondor shipyards when the Mandalorians attacked. That ship was supposed to be the vanguard of the fleet. If a renegade clan is using it as a base of operations, we need to get it back.
That was the Grand Master of the Jedi Order, explaining how Clan Varad stole a Republic battlecruiser. This vessel is your target.
There won't be a heart left beating.
Imperial destroyers will escort you to the battlecruiser and draw its fire. Board it and eliminate Clan Varad's commanders. When you are finished, you may return their crippled Republic vessel to Dromund Kaas. It will make a fine trophy.
enough
Typing
time
up.
for whoever you are, you've challenged the wrong ship.
Let's try that again. Hey, Alex. I'm not adding any new positives, I just was typing up more detail on some of the positives that are already there, while I was waiting for stuff to happen. That was an interesting patrol pad. Hey, Mike Romano. As I say, can't we just jump over here? And we can. What do you know? God, I think I've done this dungeon. I have the vaguest of memories of it. I love the droid choke animation. It's better than my actual dance. What story relevance? Oh, it's happening. I need to come up with a term for this kind of thing. Non-story? No, that doesn't quite sound right. See, here's the thing. I've noticed something in several games where there's story, but there might as well not be. You know what I mean? Like, there's basically an absence of story, but that's also not correct, because there is actually a story there. We are actually going after some Mandalorians who decided to rebel, and they're going on their own little walk, and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's the same thing that happened over in Hammer Station, right? There is a story there, it just doesn't frickin' matter. Because this is a review, Tesla. Meaningless story? I don't know, meaningless doesn't quite work for me, but I think we're on the right track with that. Oh, you know what? Let's call it an excuse story. How's that sound? Because there is a story there. It's just not interesting in any way, shape, or form. There is a Mandalore, although I don't think we see him as anyone other than the bounty hunter. Or her? God, I actually don't even remember. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn that on. I wonder if I could do that live. Yeah, I couldn't even remember anything about Mandalore. That's why I was like, ugh. There. You know, one of the things that's been argued about many times when it comes to MMO design is the usage of AoEs. One of the things I tend to see is that some developers say, oh, we want to limit the amount of AoE you use. And I'm like, okay. How about you limit the giant packs of mobs you throw at me then? How's that for a thought? I'm sorry for commenting on this, but it's actually irritating to me when developers say, we want to limit what AoEs can do, and then they throw it up against a 10-pack, and it's like, why do you think we're AoEing, you dumbass? Whoops. Sith Warrior, I have 2 AoEs, so I'm not really the AoE guy. I think I get another one later, I don't remember specifically, please forgive me. 2, or not, that's cool. Let's get around here. Yep. I remember enjoying the AoEs on a power tech, but then again, I love throwing rockets at people. What the hell do you want from me? Seriously, that's my favorite skill. I have no idea, Tesla Effect. No, lazy riding is a much bigger umbrella category. It's okay, guys. We almost have one of them at half health. Excuse me. One down. Okay, so I'm gonna be real. I've already given the dungeons, the vanilla dungeons, a negative overall. I'm getting pretty close to starting to add negatives for individual dungeons, because I'll never shy away from giving positives for individual dungeons. Like, if there's a really well-done dungeon, that gets a positive. If there's a really good level, like, so I know we haven't really reviewed a Mega Man game. Not really. We've actually reviewed 2. But I've held true to the idea, and this has been one of my guiding principles when it comes to doing whatever here, is that even if every level in a Mega Man game was fantastic, then that should be 8 pluses, right? That's the mentality. But the reverse is also true. If all 8 stages are crap, then that would be 8 negatives. So, I gotta be real, like, I'm thinking of a negative just for this boss. Because the more I'm doing this, ignoring the incredibly boring fight that this is, the more I'm remembering this fight. Because I remember this fight. And I didn't do this at 70 last time. Although I don't think that would speed it up any, but, you know. Well, I guess it speeds it up because you have access to more abilities, so there's that. But yeah, this is awful. I mean, it's one thing to have a boss that has way too much health. That's pretty normal. Still bad, but normal. But this... There's nothing even here. They don't even do anything other than have gigantic health pools.
You're good, but you're not Mandalorians. The harder you hit us, the tougher we get.
That's not how that works. So would anyone like to argue against a negative? By all means, feel free. I'm listening. I'm willing to be talked down to an aggregate negative for that. Which would not fill out an aggregate. Here, I'll type that out too, because I'm sorry, I keep assuming you guys are listening and streaming. I shouldn't do that, so I'll type out what I just did. Well, okay, hang on. So Shadow Machine was listening. Tyron mentioned something, and it looks like he's typing right now. Type faster, Tyron! Type faster! Quick! Quick! No! So that's your defense, Darth Tyron, is the boss shouldn't have taken that long? Would you care to elaborate? And if you say we suck, I don't think that really counts as a defense, but, you know, I'm willing to listen. You know, I hear that defense all the time of things where people say I shouldn't give negatives, and they say I shouldn't give a negative because it's my fault for being total crap at video games. And I hear that on a weekly basis, so if that is your argument, feel free to make it. God, I think I actually got a little bit more efficient about my rotation on that fight, just because I had that much time to think about it non-stop. It's not a good thing. It's done on a target dummy. Yes, lore is absolute garbage at video games, as anyone will tell you. I am in tank spec. That is a truth. If only there was some mechanic. I know. I just have to go to a guy and spend some money and then respec, and then go to a guy and spend some money and then respec again. Oh, it's free. Okay. Whee. For no Regan. Sorry. I suppose Sekiro comes to mind, Alex. Like, Sekiro was a decent game with some flaws, but several encounters in that fight, including the one I ended up running into the wall against, was... The reason I was having trouble with it was because what I'm supposed to do is to die against it over and over and over in order to spend the time, in order to get experience with it, in order to learn the fight. I'll be pretty blue. Whoops, that's weird, but okay. It's okay, Tor. I'll see if I can find him. They may have gotten rid of him. That would suck. Oop. Yeah, I can't wait for Bloodborne 2. And I can't wait for quitting the Bloodborne run because I actually physically can't finish it. Because that's what's most likely to happen, you realize. And then I'll have to refund people because someone on the internet who is not a supporter, who has not given me so much as a dime, will complain about the fact that I didn't finish the run, and will insist that I give refunds. Again. Push me to finish it. No, you won't. I'm just following Vigilant. I don't know where I'm going. Bloodborne. Tesla. Pay extra money for each section. $1 million for each section. I mean, 2 people did actually request refunds. Both of them were very minor supporters, but they were still supporters, so I gave like a $3 refund to one person and like $2 refund to one other person. But I did do it. What the hell are you doing, Saltier? Why are you doing this to me, man? God, I can't even talk right now. Hello? There we go. Well, that was interesting. The slow made it so I couldn't get over the hump, so we have ads now. Here, I'll see if I can attempt on this. Stay there for a second. That was funny. Alright, Saldir, if you need a refund, what do you need it for and how much? God, that slow is ridiculous. Look at that. Dolph, yeet. Oh, is it done going through? Okay, thank you, Saldir. Oh, thank you very, very much, sir. Very much obliged and appreciate as always. Thank you. Yeah, I gotta be honest, I have no idea who the tank is in this group, other than me, obviously. Saldir, you know the question. Now, if you want all that refunded, I can do that, I think. It's kind of weird to do it, but I think I can do it. But was that 10 or 5? It was 10. Good, because I vowed for 10. So it's actually... Tyron is the tank. It all makes sense now. Where the hell is everybody? This way. Sure. Listen, Saldir. I will get out and push your ship for you.
Get in position. Cut down that scum.
So, what do you want to bet this is a long, boring fight with a boss that has way too much health? Any takers? We are missing someone, though. We are missing... Shadow Machine. I mean, it really isn't Zeiss. but, you know. Nothing, Ventus. This is the best game ever. Please don't hurt me. Don't hurt me, Ventus. I'm sorry, Ventus, please. And then Ventus tortured me to death. The end. So that's today's stream. Tortured to death by Ventus. Did I? 1 second. Nope, that's what I thought. Okay, we're cool. So from one thing over here... There we go. That's better. Yeah, Tank and Spank is, in my opinion, bad design. And I'm just going to straight up say that. So for those of you not aware what Tank and Spank means, it means it's an enemy that has to be defeated. There's no gimmick, no mechanic, no strategy, no tactic. There's only Happy Hut. Let's see, so we got a Jedi Knight, Jedi Consular, a Trooper, and a Smuggler. I'm guessing the Consular is the healer. As a guess. Now I know what you're saying. Well, Tank and Spank is a default fight. Yeah, exactly. Like, that might be acceptable in the tutorial range of an MMO. But honestly, at this point, I would consider that to be unacceptable design. Maybe it's just because I've seen too much of what MMOs can do. Even Guild Wars 2, which doesn't go as far as some other games, has good designs. I mean, those bells. 14, despite the standardization of its encounters, still doesn't have basic Tank and Spank fights. At least once you get to Heavensward. Wildstar actually did have good fights. No, I didn't, Saldir. Completely missed it. Jesus Christ. It's weird, because you're like the only yellow name in chat right now, too. Wildstar was so close to being amazing. Like, it was so close. It made one mistake with its combat. It's yellow on my screen. It looks like it's green up here. Oh, so everyone who just given a sub, and I have no idea who they were, because I ain't keeping track of that. If you would like to put that money that you just got towards something, as far as increasing priority in a future stream, do it. So the biggest flaw Wildstar had in its combat was it had white damage. I know that sounds like a weird thing to comment on, but you know how this game does not have white damage? Wildstar should have done that. Now, let me explain a little bit. Wildstar extensively, utilized this mechanic which they called telegraphing. And there would be little things on the ground, and depending on the pattern and the color would tell you what type of attack, when it was going to hit, and so forth and so on. Now, that was true for enemies, and it was true for you. All of your abilities were telegraphs, too. If every... Now, the problem is, there still had to be... There was still white damage, which meant they still need tanks, and they still needed healers, because there was still just generic damage coming out from a boss fight, which still had to be tanked by someone, which still had to be healed by someone. That was the biggest flaw of Wildstar's.
The peace treaty hasn't made you soft. This might be a decent fight after all.
That was the biggest flaw of Wildstar, in my opinion, because if they had gotten rid of the white damage mechanic, healers could have been an optional idea for the players to use in case they're covering things, or tanks could have been an optional idea in order to try and sequester certain attacks in certain areas, but neither would actually be necessary. In an optimal circumstance where every attack is a telegraph and there's no white damage, I'm just going to wait on that one, if that's cool. There we go. Then you could have a team of 4 DPS, for example, and it would work as long as you didn't get hit by anything, because you, the player, could dodge every attack. You'd have to be quick, you'd have to be paying attention, but you could, you know, in a hypothetical situation, do a 4 DPS, do not get hit run, and it will work. And that was a brilliant idea that they completely flopped because they wanted to have tanks and healers. So, that was the biggest flaw of the Combat of Wildstar, in my opinion. They came so close to a truly awesome idea. It's worth noting that they also had... I'll answer Alex's question in a second. It's worth noting they also had tons of really good encounter designs. Now, that was also telegraph-based. The whole game was based around the telegraph concept. But one of my personal favorites was basically a bullet hell. Like, I don't even think I could visually show it. Imagine you just see wave after wave of attacks spreading out in a spiral from the boss. And you can avoid all of those, but they're just... and you have to bullet hell your way through them to avoid getting creamed. You know, stuff like that. There's other examples. That's just the first one that comes to mind immediately. So yeah, white damage is default attack damage, which can vary based on the specific game you're playing. I feel like I've given this explanation already yesterday. In an MMO sense, it's basically... So, TOR does not have white damage. Let's start with that. But most MMOs do have a concept of white damage. And it's easiest to explain by saying if you, like, right-click an enemy and then walk away from the computer and your enemy starts doing the auto-attack hit, that's your white damage. Time for the mandatory good/evil thing. Alright, yes, time to kill innocent people. Oh, dude, capture them? Engineers are useful. You kidding me? Grab. You're mine now.
Your little adventure is about to end. Come on, I'm waiting for you.
That could be debated, von Falkenstein. The basic attack could be argued to be could be argued to be white damage. I would argue against that, obviously. I've already given my opinion on that. That would be awesome, Leander. Devil May Cry 5, except in MMO format. I mean, honestly, what I really just want is Devil May Cry 5 co-op. That's actually what I want. Yeah, I use the basic attack pretty rarely. I use it when everything else is off cooldown. Or I misclick, which has happened a few times. Listen, Cord, I'm not saying that I'm killing all the puppies. Sorry. Whoops, this is a good time to talk about tab targeting. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and say something here, and y'all can disagree with me on this, and that's totally cool. But WoW is the only MMO I have ever played that has good tab targeting. Now, let's walk that back a few steps. First of all, I want to jump into space, yeah! Sorry, couldn't resist. I've been to space, yo. So, what was I talking about? Tab targeting. So, you have to target your enemies to do stuff to them. Duh. Right? This isn't like Elder Scrolls where you just swing and it just hits whatever's in front of you. I actually did too, okay? Just saying something. Space! Interesting to quote. So you have to target something in order to... Look, I'm not Mary Poppins, Ventures. In order to do stuff with it or to it or whatever. How you target things, there's several ways to do that. You can hit tab, which is probably the most common method, but let's cover some other methods. You can click. Like here, I'll actually demonstrate really quick. So I want to target that guy right there. Boop, so I can just click him. And I have him targeted. Click targeting is a little imprecise, especially in the middle of a hectic fight. when you want to be able to target something very quickly and efficiently, and you're not even 100% sure where your mouse cursor is because you're fighting 13 things at once, and there's a bunch of special effects going on, you want to tab target, right? Now, there are other ways to target, depending on the specific MMO. Some things have, like, target nearest enemy. Some things have target most hostile enemy or highest health enemy or whatever. It depends on the MMO, but generally speaking, what you do is you hit tab, and it targets something. The thing is, in my experience, almost every MMO out there has a completely different code for how tab targeting works. Now, you'll notice here what it's doing is it's basically cycling. Oh yeah, there's also that. I could also just hit 1, which is an attack button, which targets something as well. I believe in TOR 1, that is to say, hitting a button, functions the same as tab targeting. Could be wrong about that. TOR's tab targeting isn't the worst. But tab targeting in TOR, this is my guess. Why don't we fighting these things? Go! Feels like it's just targeting something next. It's targeting whatever the game considers to be the next enemy. And there's a lot of things that could determine whether or not that is a next enemy. Yes, Aldir. So, it might be that each enemy is assigned basically a number. This is actually true in several MMOs. Like, each encounter, they have, like, a priority value attached to them or whatever. So you notice I'm tab targeting, and I am not targeting that guy behind me. But if I do this... I'm still not doing it. Interesting. Anyways, the point being, it determines... Yeah, exactly. Under the hood naming schema, and it goes down the list, basically. Some games have better tab targeting than others, which is what I'm kind of getting at here. In my opinion, WoW is the only one that does that properly. Now, I'm going to explain that in just a second here. So that's Ghost Trick and DOS 2. You got it. Thank you again very, very much, Saldir. You! Hua!
You're worthy opponents, but this ship belongs to Clan Varad.
Yeah, that's nice.
Time for you to die.
So... Oh, I remember this fight. Yeah, some games do a thing where it's the closest enemy, but it has to be on screen. I think that's what TOR does, for example.
What's the matter? Getting tired? Ah!
No. Also, you have a rocket pack. FF14 has one of the weirdest tab targets I've ever seen. In fact, I couldn't even describe it to you right now from memory, because it's just bizarre. Asheron's Call had a thing where it was... you could cycle from nearest to farthest, for example. Guild Wars 2 has a thing where it doesn't even matter, but you can also just select whatever the nearest enemy is, etc., etc. But I suppose I should talk about WoW, because I said that's the best.
If only you'd fought this hard in the war.
WoW came up with a new tab targeting thing. No, I can stream DS games over here. I have the 3DS capture card, remember? I'm gonna have to buy it, but other than that, I got this. Anyways, WoW added, I don't remember when, I think it was around Cataclysm or Pandaria, a brand new mechanic, a brand new under-the-hood gimmick, which basically made a thing so that you can, if you hit tab, it calculates which enemies are currently in combat with you, which enemies are closer to the center of your screen, and which enemies are nearest to you, and basically determine a value based on all three of those things, right? And then whichever enemy is the closest to the center of the screen, the closest to you, that you're in combat with, is the one that it would actually select. Now, to me, that is by far the best tab targeting, for reasons that should probably be self-apparent. I could do this and immediately select the right thing. Because it's going to immediately target that thing because it's got the highest priority, right? To my knowledge, no other MMO goes that far with its tab targeting. Could be wrong. It is, again, worth noting that was not in WoW at launch. WoW at launch had the same tab targeting most MMOs do, like target nearest. Lotro has terrible tab targeting, while we're on the subject. Lotro won't even prioritize enemies you're in combat with.
This is a good death. I'll see you in hell.
Like, to explain that a little bit. Lotro had such bad tab targeting that it would actually, in many cases, prioritize enemies you were not in combat with. So if you weren't paying attention, you could be like, tab, fling, and now you're dealing with 2 packs instead of 1. You've also probably heard of anybody back in the day, again, in older WoW, where, oh my god, why did the hunter pull extra? It's because tab targeting wasn't, properly designed back then, and you just tab, whoops, and now we've got ads. Yeah, exactly, Ventures. OG hunters. Yikes. Anyways, all of that was just discussing this. Like I said, this has kind of turned into a review of MMOs as a concept, but I wanted to mention that TOR has decent tab targeting. It's not the best. It doesn't deserve a positive, but it definitely does not deserve a negative like some other MMOs I could name.
Lord Malgus, Clan Barad is no more.
Yes. Mandalore himself has sent a broadcast decrying the cowardice of Arad's warriors. The other clans will accept the dishonored survivors into their lowest ranks. And no Mandalorian will break a pact with the Empire again.
I mean, I don't know about that.
The public story doesn't matter. Clan Barad acted boldly, and its warriors died well.
They chose their fate, and died as they deserved. As for the stolen Republic vessel, the Science Bureau is dissecting it as we speak. We now possess the latest Republic security codes and fleet positions. An unexpected boon, and one of great value.
No, I think Tyrant is body type 2.
Had been more patient. They could have fought.
Or no, 3. Excuse me, 3.
When the day comes, I trust you will be ready. Go with the Empire's gratitude, and that of Mandalore.
Yeah, it looks like Vigilant and Shadow Machine are both body type 2, and Tyrant looks like body type 3. And I'm body type 1. The dinky one. Okay, so we could actually keep doing instances, and we're going to need to do that at some point. But let's go ahead and move on to Tatooine. I think we've done enough boring dungeons for now. Actually, you know what? So I want to try something out. First, I need to fix my interface, because I never actually adjusted everything after that. There we go. Second of all, what's the button? What's the button? U, apparently. So I just want to try something out here. And then we're gonna leave. Whoop, that's the wrong button, apparently. What the hell? Try this. There we go. And now we're on my ship. Not too shabby.
Seeing you return to the ship always warms my circuits, Master.
Yeah, I think at this point, with so many people wanting to join in, we might have to actually literally come up with a rotation list. So let's do that. I'll pull up a list right now. Pull this up here. There we go. So we've got Shadow Machine, we've got Cord, we've got Tyron, we've got Vigilant, we've got Von Falkenstein, and I think that's it at the moment. So Cord was not in, neither was Von Falkenstein. I wonder if... Okay, perfect. Could Shadow Machine... Hey, I'll type it. Just type that out. Oh yeah, and then you need to tell me what you rolled, obviously. Actually, well, it doesn't matter. Oh hey, I get to pull up the desert playlist soon. Okay, Vigilant got 81. Oh yeah, an upgrade. Ooh. Shadow Machine got a cheat? Holy crap. And the Tyrant got 100? What? Okay, guys, you don't have to cheat, I swear. Alright, whatever. So that means, Tyrant, you're out for right now. And Court is in. Oop. No. There we go. Okay, Tatooine. And we'll rotate, like, each planet doesn't take super long. I think we could rotate per planet or whatever. And if anybody just needs to bow out, you know, for whatever, just say, hey, I need to bow out. Yeah, I figured Vigilant would be the one kicked out because he got an 81, and that's pretty high, but little did I know.
The sands of Tatooine await you, apprentice. I've gleaned much since our interrogation of the Republic agent here on Dromund Kaas. I am certain Nomen Karr brought this gifted Padawan to Tatooine to train with a legendary master named Yonlock. Years ago, I urged the Dark Council to hunt down and destroy this Jedi. They refused, and Yonlock went into hiding on Tatooine.
Now I have to mop up the Council's mistake.
It won't be the last time. The Dark Council often lacks foresight. Yonlock is the one who brought the Padawan's powers into expression. Now they share a special bond. Find him and destroy him.
What do you hope to achieve by doing this?
Nomen Karr shelters his prize, so we will draw her out by destroying everything she loves. My servant Sharok Biv will guide you. She's eccentric, an acquired taste, but give her the benefit of the doubt.
As you decree, my lord.
That is all.
Yeah, Tatooine really shouldn't be a relevant planet. Jabba made it relevant, but before him it shouldn't have even been on the map, you know? I mean, not literally. I mean, it shouldn't have been significant to anybody. There we go. Welcome to Tatooine.
The harsh sands of Tatooine welcome you. I am Sharok Breeve. Our Lord and Master Darth Barris bid me to impart my knowledge of this planet and help you track down the Jedi Master Yonlock.
I'm glad to have your assistance.
I will be your compass. You will find Master Yonlock by tracing the path the Padawan and her master took. I can tell you where they started. I followed them to the forbidden lair of the ancient sand demon, a terrible beast. The Padawan left her weapons and entered alone. Impossibly, she returned unscathed.
Now you've got my undivided attention.
The sand demon is the fiercest creature on this planet. You don't just walk into its lair and return without a scratch. I investigated further. The beast was there, also undamaged. And what's most perplexing, its skin was glistening.
That is very confusing. Was it bleeding?
Not blood as from a wound. More like the layer of living gel one is born into the world covered in.
Gross.
What happened in that cave is a mystery. As is where the Padawan and her master went afterwards. There is one man on Tatooine who might be able to explain. Isabeau Jeef. He's as old as the sand. Part madman, part soothsayer.
Tell me more about this man.
They say the planet talks to him. He predicts sandstorms and directs search parties to lost children. It will not be easy to speak with Jeef. The small farming settlement where he lives has been overrun by exchanged thugs. The Exchange hates the Empire for running them out of Mos Ela. They will allow me to pass, but they'll attack you on sight.
They won't see me coming until it's too late.
Then I will meet you at Isabeau Jeeves' hut.
It's okay, Barris. It's okay, Barris. It's okay, Ventures. Barris will never see me coming. Sorry. By the way, this is one of my favorite dungeons in Ocarina, but let's not go into that right now. Hello, Muhammad Elvis. Tendinitis? Where? Oh. No, that makes sense. Sadly. I have a very minor form of that myself, Salder. It's one of the reasons I don't push very heavy weights, because even though my muscles can take it, my tendons cannot. So, time to do the planetary primary.
Welcome to Tatooine, all of you. If you hold a moment, I can provide directions to the research center.
I wasn't aware of any research center.
You're... sorry, my error. Much of the Imperial traffic we get is assigned to the archaeological expedition. Security, scientific equipment. They don't tell me what it's for. If you're going to be here long, you might wish to speak to Captain Gola. Ensure that our operations don't overlap.
I'll pay your captain a visit.
These are the center's coordinates. I'll alert them that you may be coming.
But yeah, other than its significance to, you know, the Infinite Empire, Tatooine doesn't really matter to anyone, or at least it shouldn't. Being shot at by something. 1 second, need to make a quick detour here. Sorry, guys. Where it is? Where am I? Ah, it's out there, isn't it? Hang on, hang on. Yes, Alex. No, let's figure it out. Shoot, I hope it wasn't a class thing. Might have been a class thing. But yeah, I agree. She's totally a desert hippie. The sands have spoken of blah 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 blah. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, okay, we're free. If it's down here? Allow me to say that I also... So I mentioned Nar Shaddaa. I liked the visuals of it. I also like the visuals of Tatooine. It's not the best desert I've seen. Not even the best desert I've seen in an MMO. But it's still a decent desert, I think. Damn it, I think it's actually in a class instance. Damn it. Now I gotta kill Kay. Because he doesn't want to do any work on the TOS thing. Ugh. I'm gonna make one more sweep of this in case I'm just misremembering. But, yeah. So how would I do KOTOR 3? Well, first, I'd take the Jedi Knight story and I'd throw it out the window. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. Damn it. It's gotta be a class thing. Oh, that sucks. Alright, whatever. Whatever. Sorry, guys, I can't show off Darth Puppy. Maybe I'll stumble into him. I suppose you want a real answer, Muhammad Elvis. The problem is I feel so stupid because I've said it so many times, so forgive me for the repetition. But if I was doing KOTOR 3, I would make it about the hidden threat that's back in the galaxy and it has been there for some time. Like in Coruscant, in the Republic. The hidden Sith that have been there for years. If not decades, if not centuries. A clandestine group that has been manipulating and twisting the Republic, the Empire, the Jedi, and the Sith the entire time. And that's, you know, I would make that the main thing. Look, it's totally a Datacron. And yeah, and also no Vong.
Keeler, I need those water readings. We won't get more supplies without a report.
Sorry, sir. I'll check as soon as I can. Sand in the gauges.
Blast.
Well, screw that conversation. There's sand in the gauges. Oh, okay, hang on.
Keeler, I need those water readings. We won't get more supplies without a report.
Sorry, sir. I'll check as soon as I can. Sand in the gauges.
Blast. Bring in some local technicians. See if they can fix us up while I greet our guests.
Actually, the second foundation is a great way to explain what I would do.
Reclamation Service.
I don't want to spoil that for anybody who hasn't read that.
Malachor 2 and Nimdrovus.
Especially since there's a show coming out soon.
Dust and we've got nothing but trouble.
But yeah, the second foundation. That's what I would do.
Tell me, who's in charge?
I run the crew's day-to-day activities, but we report...
Captain Golar and his crew report to me. I am Darth Silthar. They are my hands, digging and scraping where I cannot. We came to Tatooine to solve a mystery. One of dead men and desert secrets. Not for conquest, but for power.
What could the Empire possibly need on this dust ball?
I too once viewed this world as insignificant. No longer. The Empire recently found a damaged shuttle drifting through deep space. It came from a Zerka Corporation research base on Tatooine.
Zerka had Tatooinian artifacts they claimed were the find of the millennium. Mystery devices with the energy throughput of a sun. But a month after the shuttle launch, their research base disappeared. Zerka never came back.
Somewhere in this wasteland is power enough to destroy a world, remake a galaxy. My team is going to find the Zerka base and these artifacts along with it. We will learn their secrets. Will you join us?
Tell me more about Zerka.
Fools who believe that research and technology are a match for true power. They will not interfere. Now, scattered across the desert, sheltered within caves, live a people called the Sons of Palawa. They are an exacting and ritualistic tribe, come to Tatooine to test themselves against the elements. A settlement nearby has something we need.
Test themselves how?
They pound their fists into sand, drill for water instead of using vaporators, what you'd expect.
Most importantly, the Sons of Palawa possess a clue to Zerka's fate. What did you call them, Captain?
Experimental battle droids, armed with turbo lasers, shields, and who knows what else.
Zerka droids, no doubt rebuilt by the Sons of Palawa. And the tribals are not inclined to share.
Leave that to me.
After the Empire took Mos Ela, the Sons of Palawa decided we were invaders. They'll shoot anyone who gets close.
But why should that stop you? If the droids truly are from Zerka, I want their secrets. Dissect them, peel the droids' armor, and bring the captain their Verba brains. Then they will lead us to the missing Zerka base.
Listen, Souther, you do not understand the power of the Grill side of the Force. With each passing moment, you make yourself more my dinner. It is inevitable. It is your destiny. It's right here, isn't it? As soon as I saw that. Yeah, there it is! There it is! It's Darth Puppies! Yes, yes, good, good, dead puppies, This is him right here. Yeah, as soon as I saw the view out the window, I was like, oh, it's right across the street. So for those of you not quite getting the joke, this is the animation, and he just does it over and over and over again. He just loops it forever. And we actually saw this guy while we were doing the lore run, and I just lost it because he was just sitting there like, yes, and dead puppies. He's even got a lot of dark side corruption, so obviously he's trying to really immerse himself in the dark side, right? God. Yeah, someone should clip that so we can get it on record. Damn. Where the hell? Let's get out of here. Yeah, if he was smiling, it'd be even better. I can't wait to have that ice cream with dead puppies on it. It's actually dead puppy flavored ice cream. It tastes like happiness and love. Oh my god. Oh no, womp rats that are being attacked by the locals. So here we are. This is, you're basically seeing what Tatooine looks like right here. I still think it's decent. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. Pay attention more. I still think it looks cool. I still think they do a decent job of varying it up. It's harder than it would sound to make a landscape that's effectively got one feature to it, sand, and make it look interesting. I think they do a good job here. Is this Sith Wars? Is this Sith Wars? I'll just poke my head in here. Where's Cord? Oh yeah, Cord's doing... Yep. Okay. Cord's being efficient.
The world is weeping, and the tears evaporate in the heat of our sin.
Uh-huh. Yep.
I think you mean from the heat of our suns, Isabeau.
Nope, definitely the sins.
There is a dark presence, newly arrived on Tatooine.
Nope.
Sith, you made it. The hostiles outside were no match for you, I see.
Why would they be?
They tried to stop me. They failed.
Failure can be contagious, and hard to dispel once contracted. You are the Seeker Sharak spoke of. You wish to understand the Jedi's purpose in the lair of the Sand Demon.
You see it correctly.
My eyes may be aged and failing, but my mind sees.
Please, Isabeau, make haste. Tell my friend what you know. I will remain here after to hear your wisdom.
Fine. Gather close. Few are aware that Tatooine was once a place of positive Force energy. Jedi made pilgrimages here to renew and purify. The sands speak of a ritual called the Demon's Blood. This is likely what the Jedi that Sharak witnessed was engaged in.
Explain this ritual.
The Demon's Blood. A Jedi seeking enlightenment would cover himself in fresh Sand Demon blood and enter the village of the Savage Ones. Cowering before the Demon Slayer, the Savage Ones would reveal the path to self-discovery and to that which the Slayer seeks.
Do you mean the Sand People?
Tatooine makes most who come here savage, and the Sand People have been here all along.
Isabeau, as I told you, the girl faced the beast but left it unwounded.
There must be another way to bathe in the beast's blood. But you'll have to discover that for yourself, if you care to. To know where this Jedi girl went, you'll have to perform the ritual yourself, and then see if the Savage Ones speak.
I appreciate your help and insights.
Step lightly on my desert. It has been through so much in its life.
Here are the coordinates you will need. After you face the Sand Demon, I will meet you at the Sand People compound. If the legend is true, and the Sand People have something to offer you, I wish to see it with my own eyes.
No, Tesla effect. The beast is made of dead puppies. Anyways, yes, corrupted circuit. Sorry, I didn't answer. I was in the middle of cutscene. But yes, you're more than welcome to. Yeah, that's a wall. Listen, scanning from orbit would make sense. You know, it's funny, Star Wars isn't nearly as bad about that as Star Trek is. Star Trek has higher tier technology than Star Wars does, almost across the board. Especially scanning technology. And for some reason, they just never use it. Culminating in a time when a planet-bound species managed to hold the USS Voyager hostage. Which is... God, that's so stupid. I'll never forget how stupid that is. I knew it, Kay. You're just trying to get out of doing the TOS thing. I knew it! Okay, I swear this is on random. I'm not intending to have all these Nintendo songs come up. I even just double-checked to make sure it's on random. It is, in fact, on random. Scanning abilities? I mean, Star Wars says significantly faster than light travel, but that's mostly a function of the fact that, you know, they enter another dimension to do it. Ding. Dead puppies. Sorry. He's not exactly a meme, but I've never forgotten Dead Puppies guy. Obviously, since the first thing I did when I came here is went to go look for him. Wrong way. No, Star Trek kind of warps space, but you're still in normal space. You're not actually literally in another dimension, as opposed to hyperspace, which is literally another dimension. Star Wars does have more super weapons than Star Trek, I'll give you that. Star Wars doesn't have a replicator or transporters, though. Or better scanning tech. Or better medical tech. Or sentient holograms. I could keep going.
I am Frere One of the Sons of Palawa. You have won this battle, and I call for parley.
Sure thing.
Our keepings. Tell us why our wives and children weep, so that this feud may be honorable.
Right.
This wasn't my choice. I wanted to avoid violence.
Then you shouldn't have come here at all. We know about the Empire's expedition. Whatever you're after, you won't find it. The desert protects its own. And though we can't keep you from departing, beware Tatooine, and beware our vengeance. You've made an enemy today.
Vengeance can wait. For now, we can part in peace.
Go. We have injured to tend to, and graves to dig. We'll meet again soon enough.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, Star Trek has energy beings, but Star Wars has the Force. Star Wars has better firepower. People who have far more time and actual attention to real-life science than me have already figured out that Star Wars weapons are substantially stronger than Star Trek weapons. But yeah, then we have droids. Star Wars has droids. I mean, we could go back and forth, which is kind of my point. That being said, though, I would say Star Trek overall is more advanced, mostly because it's more advanced in more fields. In a one-on-one fight, a Star Destroyer would absolutely destroy anything from Star Trek, short of a Borg cube. Like, one ISD with a decently competent captain could probably conquer half the Federation. And that's not even an exaggeration. Actually, yeah, it feels like warping back is the right choice here. That's another thing. Star Wars tech has stagnated for literally millennia, whereas Star Trek tech has adapted by leaps and bounds in the space of about 2 centuries. Like the difference between TOS and TNG is gargantuan. And that's not that big of a gap. I wasn't even getting into things like Q. Especially since Q is debatable. His name is Darth Slithar. No, Silthar. That's even worse. Is he Silty? I didn't need to train. I just wanted to hear his voice. His lovely, lovely voice.
What's wrong, Hale? I can sense your fear.
Sorry, my lord. I'm remembering that time on Ziost, when I was buried alive.
That's good. Use that fear, Hale. Let it push you. Ah, did you bring us the droid mines?
I got what you wanted.
I sense we'll do incredible things together. Zerka's discovery is out there somewhere, sending ripples through the Force.
Let's get the vertebrains analyzed, my lord. Keela.
Memory wipe destroyed the old files, but it looks like the Sons of Palawa bought the droids from Jawas.
All right. Guess that makes the Jawas our next lead to the Zerka base.
Would the Jawas trade with the Suns?
They'll sell their goods to anyone. Mos Ela was originally their trading post.
The Jawas are one of the native species, primitive masters of machinery.
They swarm like rats during the trade season, selling droid parts and generators. Then it's back to the desert.
In my dreams, I see one band that remains in the wastes near this city. Find them. I must meditate.
Yes, my lord.
You may go.
Show the vertebrains to the Jawas. See if they can't identify the source. They won't have records, but they're clever. Good hunting. Stay hydrated, stay safe, and stay cautious.
You know how much I remember this game by just muscle memory? Up there is where the commendation vendor was. I don't even know if he's there anymore. I guess I can check while we're right here. Let's find out. There's some trainers. Only one vendor. Who's this guy? And he just sells random crap. Huh. Maybe I was wrong. I mean, in my defense, it's been like 8 years. Yeah, there's a reason they literally farm... well, farm with moisture is actually a better way to put that. Worst part of the game? Darth Revan. If I had to pick one thing from memory that I would say is the worst part of this game, it would be the combat, by far. No, that's what moisture evaporators do. They pull in just tiny little fragments of moisture from the air, and then squeeze them into enough liquid in order to actually... No, no, a moisture farmer is actually using moisture to farm. They are not gathering water. Although, from my understanding, there are actually groups of people, especially the Jawas, who will actually procure and sell water, since water is a valuable resource. What Nymph just said is probably the best explanation of combat in TOR I've ever heard. It's like being stuck in second gear forever for a game that lasts weeks. It's a great description of combat in TOR. Also, Jawas are awesome! Jawas! I like Jawas.
Jawa. I have parts here from a droid you sold. I need them identified. Just take a quick look. I won't keep you from your work.
Supposed to read this out loud. For droid knowing, help clear path for Sandcrawler. Desert dangerous, Jawa lives precious, moving quickly. Fair trade.
I clear your path, and you tell me what I need.
Very glad. Clear path, help Jawa clans. Return soon, before long sun sets. Shadows grow. Then we give you droid knowing. I love Jawas. I'm not actually joking. Jawas are amazing. One of my favorite alien races in Star Wars in general. And yes, Blizz is one of my favorite companions. No joke. Yeah, the Jawas speak in the language of economics. That might be part of why I like them so much. Yeah, no kidding, Darren. The great irony is one of the most common questions I hear when it comes to MMO design is, so lore, what would it take to fix the fundamental problems? And in almost every case, it's a total overhaul from word go. Which is exactly as difficult, time-consuming, and infeasible as it sounds. Like, FF14 getting a full engine overhaul at this point is not happening. And that's probably true with TOR as well. Blizzard... World of Warcraft got lucky in that they managed to do 2 engine overhauls over the course of the game's career before Activision Blizzard kind of really became a dominating force, because it'll probably never happen again.
I've cleared the path. Your band should be able to travel now.
Yes, we hear good message from scouts. All in place. Good trade. Droids come from Big Wreck. Very old wreck. Lost now. These 3 Jawa found it. Wreck was from Stranger's transport module. Big travel in and out of sand. Found droids, bones, salvage. Good things.
The transport module. What strangers did it belong to?
Big strangers like you. Came, went to desert. Used transports to travel. Wreck is gone now. Eaten by sand. Stranger's gone too. Don't know where Stranger's gone. Wreck parts already sold. Traded. But not this. Take lockbox from wreck. Very secure. Slightly broken. Maybe you want it?
Have you investigated the lockbox yourself?
I tried breaking it. Very sturdy. After long suns, go back in Sandcrawler with junk. Until now. Take good travel. Fast. Past long suns. Trade travel master thinned. I love Jawas. Not even joking. Unfortunately, that's actually not true, Leander. FF14 1.0 to FF14 ARR was rebuilding the game on its bones. In other words, they didn't actually change said bones. All they did was listen to me. All they did was make the game again. But it was the same engine. In fact, it is still the same engine, and it still has all the problems from that old and very problematic engine. Hell, I'd be happy at this point if they would just give the netcode an overhaul in FF14, and even that would be a hell of a thing. I hated the Mohammedovas, but not the Jawas because they're cool. I'd never kill a Jawa. Not the men, and not the women either. Hang on, let me make sure I position this right. There we go. I forget what my rating was, but net positives act out. Blizz is amazing.
Alright, everyone get the equipment packed. Hail, see to the speeders.
Yes, Venture. Sadly, but yes.
My lord, it's good to see you. Were you able to make contact with the Jawas?
You know, I actually don't know if Jawas have genders. I really don't.
I was able to negotiate for what we needed.
Looks like a stasis crate. The sort Zerka used to transport samples. Won't be easy to unseal, but we can peek inside. Keela, running through the analysis grid.
On it.
I like to call it a slow genocide, Crazy Norse.
Don't want to pulverize any artifacts inside.
Definitely something in there. Alien device of some sort, roughly spherical, contained in a Zerka energy field. Blasted odd.
What about it is odd?
First pass shows the artifact is over 10,000 years old. Probably distortion. The energy readings are unstable.
Give me a few days to pop it open and we'll run the scan again.
I won't bore you with the science. Lord Siltha's on a pilgrimage and we're getting ready to move to the forward research outpost. But we may need you again soon.
This mission isn't over. I'd like to see it through.
If you're heading to the desert, contact us at the first station out from Mos Ila. Lord Silthar should have a lead on the Zerka base by then. In the meantime, we've got an artifact to study.
And there he is, in all his beauty. I'm going the right way. Do I have to stand still to open a lockbox? Jeez Louise. No, I'm kind of with you, Alex, but, you know, whatever. It's whatever, you know, it's cool, it's cool. Yeah, where's Cord in his best mount? Is that Cord? I think that's Cord. Alright, here it is, the best mount in the game. Is that a frickin'... Okay, actually, that's kind of... I've seen that in action. It's kind of a neat mount. I know it's not a Wookiee, but whatever. Oh my God. Yes, Venters. Excuse me. Oh, come on. Banthas are cool. Here, fine. You want a dewback? Here. Here's a frickin' dewback. It looked kind of CGI because we added it in after the fact. Sorry, dumb joke.
Travel route is confirmed.
Thousand CP, damn. I'm okay with sticking with Bastion myself. Although at this point I should probably rename it to the Lore, or Lore Runner. Especially if this is going to be a thing in the future. That's actually not a bad idea. How much CP do I have? Probably not enough at this point. Yep, no, I got 143. Oh, I could have a Basilisk, though. Oh. Ooh, well. That'll be fine, Corrupted Circle.
This is Captain Gola, Reclamation Service Outpost 701. It's good to see you, my lord. My team's still searching for the Zerka base, but we've hit a snag that, frankly, we can't handle ourselves.
I've solved your problems before. I can do it again.
After you left for the Jawas, Lord Silthar had a vision. Something about the natives, the Sand People. He flew a speeder into the Dune Sea, but we lost the tracking signal in an energy storm. Silthar was summoning lightning.
Why would Silthar go out there alone?
Lord Silthar was following a dream, the same way he found the lost temple of Zeost and the crystal caves of Molivar. He told me the Sand People and their spirit guides were the key. He was looking for some sort of compass.
I'll locate him quickly.
Find the spirit guides and find him. When you have answers, come to our forward outpost. Otherwise, I don't know how this mission can succeed.
Yes, I'll do your job for you. That is my job. So, welcome to the first actual outdoor zone. It's about as big as it looks. Like, to give you an idea, that zone we were just in is that little dot down there on the bottom. Whereas the Jundland Waste is this gigantic freaking thing. You don't see Anchorhead up here, that's the Republic zone. To my knowledge, we cannot actually go to Anchorhead as Empire. Just like we can't go to Mos Ela as Republic. There you go, Plutonia. Just for you. Me too, Muhammad Elvis. If there's one thing I need more of in my life, it's people accusing other people of being Nazis over minor infringements. Infringements. Stutter, stutter. But yes, Zaktat. At least there's decent people in the Sith Empire. Whereas the Galactic Empire is 100% pure evil. In the AU. Thunder in the break. No. I'm gonna get some work done. Let's tentatively say sure, Crazy Horse. But I reserve the right to say no after you actually ask the question. Executive veto. It's kind of how I operate in general, so I guess that's not really anything new. Boop. Listen, only someone who is Hitler would accuse someone else of being Hitler. Hitler! Trying not to laugh at that, Plutonia. I do have to... Oh, excuse me. I do have to admit, I avoid most of the actually bad crap on Twitter because I don't actually Twitter. And as I like to say, I don't really internet in the traditional sense of the word. I use my Twitter as an announcement feed, and occasionally just something I feel like sharing. It was, as you might imagine, a tremendous surprise to me when I suddenly found out that I have like 2,000 followers on Twitter. I don't even begin to understand that, but, you know, whatever. Not gonna complain. Not gonna complain. Where's the game? Okay, whatever. So I already have the frickin' compass. What do you want from me, game? But yeah, on rare occasion, mostly out of morbid curiosity, I've decided to peruse Twitter. It's really messed up. Like, really, really messed up. Where the hell? Oh, right. It's telling me to go this way. God, now I'm Hydra. Anyway, so rich and powerful rule. Make all the decisions and normal people don't matter. What's the question, Crazy Norse? Hey, MPPY. Yeah, I have a Tumblr, too. I use that exclusively as a Q&A. Although I've started falling behind, because it's hard to keep up on the Q&A. No, we'll never come back to Tatooine. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. There are a few things I'll look at on Twitter, like, for example, anytime something goes down, Twitter, usually, like, say, Twitch, or World of Warcraft, or Discord, I usually check their Twitter first, because they keep that very up-to-date on, like, a minute-to-minute basis, so if I have an issue, that's the quickest way to figure out what the hell's going on. In fact, that happened earlier with TOR, just yesterday. Killing all these animals. It makes me so... nothing, apparently. Okay. It makes me so angry. Very angry. Ah, gotcha. Well, I don't think I know any libertarians, because I try to stay out of modern politics. For reasons I don't feel like going into right now, but it's probably best summarized by the fact that I'm trying to stay out of it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The power of the dance compels me! Facebook, Tesla. Destroying Twitter wouldn't do anything. Not really. And there are good uses for Twitter. Destroying Tumblr wouldn't really do anything. Really. And doesn't really... it has its uses. Facebook can go to hell. Anyways, I'm sorry, Crazy Norse. I was actually going to answer you in part. Because like I said, I don't know any libertarians. I don't know how that works. But I will say that the Sith Empire does have an extreme elitism thing. The thing is, the only thing that differentiates the Sith Empire from the Galactic Republic in that is that the Sith Empire is overt about it. The exact same elitist rule of the few thing is present in the Republic, and we see people who are, in my opinion, actually worse on the Republic side in the upper echelons of power. As opposed to the Sith Empire, where it's just, dead puppies. Agency. So, let us call upon the dark side of the Force. Behold the Sand Demon.
Can we talk for a second?
Yeah, what's up?
I really don't have a good feeling about this.
You think you're not having fun here?
Walking into a demon's lair, not your idea of fun.
Sorry. I just have an irrational aversion to attacking monsters that can swallow me whole. I'm thinking, if the Jedi perform the demon blood ritual without a fight, there must be a way we can too. As a favor to me, could we please get through this without mixing it up with the sand demon?
Alright. Just for you, Vet.
I was already planning on doing that.
Oh, good. That's a relief. Looks like it's showtime. The monster's caught a whiff of us. I'm ready to back you up if it goes badly.
Thanks, Vet. This was a good pick, guys. You picked a good outfit. I approve. I'm actually going to alter it in 2 ways after we finish Chapter 1.
Desert monster. I stand my ground.
That probably should have been Desert Monster, not Dessert.
See, I am not your enemy.
Ah, shoot. No, whatever. I mean, killing it works too. It's whatever.
Oh, yuck! So much blood! If I knew we were gonna literally bathe in it, I would have waited outside. And the smell, oh, cag! We're gonna stink for days! What if it never wears off?
It will be all right, Vet.
I sure hope you're right. I take a lot of pride in my hygiene.
I can tell by your battered armor.
Let's get out of the stink pit, huh?
Which also looks pretty cool, consequently. By the way, you're probably noticing her gauntlets are red. I did that on purpose, so she has like a matching thing with us. In fact, her gauntlets and belt are both designed to match ours.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Lead the way.
Ugh, gag, Alex. Why would anyone say that? Oh, well. No, she is handsome. I actually did try to hit escape. Unfortunately, I wasn't ready for the fact that there was a second pop-up, which was like, hey, this will cancel it for everybody. And because I wasn't even ready for that, I didn't hit it in time, and so it just kind of went forward. So, my bad. No, I'm going to be playing an old game, and then another old game, and then another old game. In fact, basically a lot of old games in quick succession here. It's not a big deal. Someone's shooting at me, though. I don't know who that could possibly be. Battletoads. I don't want to talk about Battletoads because then I'll get yelled at. I'm kidding. Honestly, I've actually been thinking about this lately. I care a lot about your guys' feedback. Really. It probably doesn't show, but I do. But I'm starting to think I need to care a whole lot less about the comment section feedback. And I hate to distinguish that, but probably let that bother me more than I should. Especially during a review. I cannot tell you how many times I've thought, well, I'm gonna hear it for this negative, or, well, this one's gonna definitely generate some aggravation in the comment section. It's just, it's this thought in the back of my head, you know. Ooh, okay. It's especially caused me some, for lack of a better word, stress when it comes to some of the upcoming runs. It's like, oh jeez, here we go. No, that's the sad part, Crazy Norse. My comment section, relative to the rest of the internet, is quite behaved. But, yeah.
Lord Silthar.
Did Captain Gola send you? Such a good man. A pity he didn't send young Hale, but the honor is yours. You will hear my last words.
Slowly. You're not going to die, my lord.
It is kind of you to lie. The Force called me into the desert. I sensed what Circa found. An alien power. I saw a white room. I thought the Sand People would know the land's secrets. I murdered them. Stole their thoughts to find this cave. I knew victory before they destroyed me.
I followed the shaman's compass. But what is this place?
It is a cave of secrets. My journey here was not for nothing. Circa built its base over a site from the natives' myths. A forbidden land. The paintings in the cave show the way. Find them. Record them. Gola and his men, they...
And then we can execute him.
We'll finish the mission, my lord, one way or another.
Find the paintings, but beware. Beware the thing in the white room.
And I mean, that's valid, Hazardous, but you should know, well, I don't know if you should know as well as I do, but anybody who YouTubes should tell you exactly how hard it is to tell the difference between a good troll, a bad troll, a legitimate complaint, a legitimate grievance, etc., etc. We shall vandalize the mural for absolutely no reason. There's no reason to do that. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, yeah. So, now that we've got a little bit of dead time here. What, So, Valvedrix just reminded me of this. One of these days, we're going to actually discuss this, I swear to God. How would you rate this game's financial model? I knew it, MTPY. You're the reason. Every time someone new shows up, you're like, get out of his stream or I'll kill you. See, the thing is, I think the subscription model's fine. Because it is. It's fine. It's average. There's nothing really good or bad about it. There are two things I don't like about the pay model of this game. One of them is this. This, in my opinion, is actively bad. And I know some people are going to disagree with me on this, because this is overwhelmingly just cosmetic, but they really push the cartel in this game. And they really want you to spend money on the cartel. And they really want you to spend those cartel coins. They also do what EA does very well, which I forget what it's called, but it's this very sort of passive, what do they call it? Pressure, like a peer pressure thing. It's a deliberate design choice, where they make it so that people who have certain types of cosmetic things are flashier or fancier or more obvious, and it's always obvious where they get it from, aka from the real money market. And the whole point of that is that you will be more biased towards buying something because of the fact that you see other people who have the cool looking thing that you don't have. It's probably the most insidious and manipulative way of trying to force people to buy into microtransactions that exists in the gaming market, my opinion. Like, most of the other stuff... Oh, abso-freaking-lutely, Loner. Most of the other stuff is more overt and easier to witness, although, of course, people still have issues with it. And the more starkly predatory stuff is usually very obvious to spot. But that's one of those quiet ones. And the easiest way I can explain how insidious that is by pointing to every single person who says, well, it's just cosmetic. Uh-oh, my cloak is... or my cape is being weird again.
I trailed and observed your descent here. I could not believe my eyes.
What is my cape doing?
Sand people all ran from you. What transpired inside the Sand Demon Cave that makes this so?
It was an epic battle, and I killed the beast.
You have bathed in the demon's blood. Its essence fills the air. Now, Isabeau said that this is where your path will be illuminated. But there doesn't seem to be anything here. Wait! On your guard, Offworlder. One of the Sand People approaches.
I'll take that.
I've never seen one of the Sand People approach an outsider in peace.
That was terror.
This parchment the Sand Person brought is remarkable. It is a crude but very clear map of the desert. It marks a door carved into the wall of the Desert Wound Ravine. But I've mapped this ravine and there is no such door.
If this is where the Padawan went, I must follow.
I shudder to think what awaits you there. The ravine marks the farthest I or anyone I know of has dared venture. Here are the coordinates. I will follow stealthed, using the dune's shadows.
Think first of your own safety and do not follow if it becomes too harrowing.
Your concern is appreciated. Darth Barris enlisted my services to be scout and lookout, and I intend to do my job. Head deeper into the desert, and you will find the Desert Wound Ravine. Safe journey.
Agreed, Shadow Machine. I liked Sith Warrior in general, but when I fell in love with Sith Warrior is at the upcoming scene. Alright, so... God, I'm thinking how I want to explain this. So I'm thinking about other MMOs, and other MMOs' pay systems, and what I want to kind of do is establish a bit of a precedence, right? And as a direct consequence, I want to give this game 2 negatives for its pay system. Actually, no, I want to give it 3, but hear me out for a second. So, first and foremost, the game, a game that really should have a subscription model, and does have a subscription model, has an in-game shop where you can spend additional money on top of the money you're already spending for the game that you're already spending a huge amount of your time on in order to buy more stuff. I know that that's a bit of a controversial opinion. I know plenty of people who would disagree with it, but I gotta be honest, that by itself is something I disagree with. I don't mind going, and you saw me just yesterday while TOR was down. You know what I did? I did Twilight Bastion, Heroic, 25-man. And you know what I got? A whole bunch of gear that looks cool. Now, if you don't understand the point there, I went and got all the cool stuff by playing the game that I was paying for. Now, obviously, that's not a perfect model, but my point is that in World of Warcraft, for all its many, many flaws, at least I can go and actually get my nice, cool-looking stuff in terms of mounts, in terms of equipment, in terms of titles, by getting it, by playing the game and acquiring it. That being said, you're probably like, well, WoW has a mount thing. Yes, it does, which I think should be 1 negative. Because WoW has that format to begin with. This is why I think TOR deserves the 2nd negative. Not just for the fact that there's an in-game shop at all. That's the first negative. WoW would also get that negative. And so would virtually other MMO out there. In fact, I think literally every other MMO out there at this point. But I think TOR should get an additional negative for the way they approach the in-game shop. For the amount and quality of stuff that is here. And for how hard they push this market. And how they put, you know, like you can look like what's the latest one? It was over here somewhere. Like you can look like Darth Nihilus if you pay real money for it, or you can look like Mira from KOTOR 2 if you pay real money for it. Or here's this cool snowtrooper outfit, you know, or here's this cool hover tank that I'm currently hovering around in right now. I'm going the wrong way, aren't I? Yes, I am. And I am aware of that, Darth Tyron. And, of course, if you are subscribed, you get a stipend, a minuscule stipend, it's worth noting, of cartel coins per month. Now, I do think there's even worse than this in terms of in-game shops, and that's why I was sitting there thinking about this. Because I think that this could enter 3 negative territory. But I think in TOR's case, it's only 2 negatives for its pay system. If anybody wants to disagree or agree or stab me, this would be a good time to mention that. And again, I'm admittedly thinking of this from the perspective of having, you know, all the other MMOs eventually be reviewed. No! Fabulous! How could you? TOR does have loot boxes. I haven't really shown them off lately because screw them. Here, I'll show them off real quick. Let's go to featured. What's on the featured page? So we got a bundle, an outfit, a thing you can put on your title screen, a mount, a weapon, a tuning, a bundle, and a cartel pack. It's actually a cartel. It's 30 cartel packs, which, God, that's like $50 or something. Hang on. Let me look this up really quick. I need to see how much real-life money that bundle of loot boxes actually is. Nope, I'm wrong. That's actually $40. My bad. That is $40 right there to buy that loot pack bundle. And you get these cartel packs. And they share what you can, what you get from them, and it's basically stuff from the cartel, and there's all sorts of stuff you can get from them. You can also, at least you could be able to back in the past, sell just the loot box in game in the auction house, and then people can buy that in the hopes of getting something really nice. Yay. Why are we here? We should be over here. Yeah, so apparently they are still sellable on the auction house. There you go. That is true. The cartel store did not originally, it was added when the game went free to play. You'll notice I haven't even mentioned the chopping off at the knees free to play thing yet. I am only speaking of regards to how they approach the cartel. The game really does push the cartel if you're not subscribed. In fact, I actually thought it pushed the cartel if you were subscribed. As you can see, it has not been. It's basically never come up. But I distinctly recall what it's like when you play this game with a preferred status or free-to-play or whatever. And it's like, hey, did you know if you got this? Like, there's this icon that looks like the cartel coin icon. And it's like, you can click here, and it'll pull up the cartel market. You can buy this thing here. It can be a thing. Give us money. So I'm not seeing any significant disagreement here. But certainly no actual worthwhile arguments. One second. I think a package just arrived. You know, I just gotta say, free Hong Kong. Anyways, I don't know what my achievements button is, so no. But I actually need a different playlist for this scene here. Let's go with this song.
This is either a mirage or a trap set by a nest.
Try not to blink. Soak in what true power looks like. I am the embodiment of your true potential. I am what you could be if you had the guts to follow the dark path more faithfully. This is some kind of trick, a deadly serious trick. The kind that can kill you. Let me prove that I am you. We seek Nomenkar's Padawan, who can see the true nature of anyone. If she isn't stopped, she could bring down our master's network of secret spies, embedded in the Republic and Jedi. I don't doubt you are what you say you are. Then don't doubt that I know where your current path will lead. Cease your merciful tendencies and embrace the full meaning of the dark side of the Force, or you will be destroyed. Exactly how will I be destroyed? There are any number of disasters you are flirting with. You are Sith. You walk among Sith. The stench of the light in you will be like rot in their nostrils. Darth Barris will smell it on you, and will strike you down without mercy. I'm not worried about Barris. You are foolish. Barris already plots against you. The light blinds you to the ill will growing from your fellows. Barris and the other Sith will have the advantage of deception, and the power of the strongest forces in the galaxy. Passion, rage, love. The light shuns and denies these things. Tell me more of this. Now you're coming around. Think this through. This Padawan Barris wants you to kill can destroy him. He has seen it. What if you can seduce her? Claim this Padawan for yourself, corrupt her to the dark, control her and add her power to yours. A master of the dark side could turn this Padawan. And then you can destroy Barris and claim everything he has. She and I will join forces, and together we will fight the forces of dark. Fool! One day the darkness that you reject will overwhelm you. You have proven your way is strong and viable. With this victory, our essence has been purified. In the clarity of this communion, a vision of our destiny on Tatooine appears. Can you see it too? An encampment hidden in the farthest reaches of the desert, past a rock formation called the Forbidden Pass. Is this where I will find the Jedi Master Yonlock? There is no doubt this is where the Padawan went. This is where the Great Master helped her powers become expressed. The image fades. Find the Forbidden Pass and confront Master Yonlock beyond it. Our journey on this planet ends there. Farewell.
I cannot believe what I just witnessed. Did you just tell yourself to venture beyond the Forbidden Pass?
That is my understanding.
I am chilled to the bone. The desert beyond the Forbidden Pass is an area that no one can survive. No one! Even the Sand People dare not go. You mustn't go!
The opposite is true. I must.
This is not some silly superstition. Those who go beyond the Forbidden Pass are never seen again. I will not. I cannot follow you there.
Just tell me where to go.
With a heavy heart, I give you the location of the Forbidden Pass. I am shamed that my cowardice paralyzes me. I fear I will never see you again.
I should be so lucky. Get out of my sight.
Oh, that's not what I thought that was.
I deserve your disdain. My spirit is broken. I will return to your spaceport and inform Darth Barris of this development. I bid you goodbye.
That reminds me, is TOR effect, that is to say TOR syndrome, gameplay or story? Because it's bad either way. We've been lucky. We've only gotten 3 of those so far. So yeah, no, that scene's getting applause. That was the official moment I was like, oh, dude! And really started digging into this. It was, if you guys are remembering my story, it was Jedi Knight, Trooper, Sith Warrior. I want you to imagine that path. I want you to imagine having gone through that and been just utterly just disdainful and bored and disinterested with the game and just disappointed. And then I played Sith Warrior and was just like, oh. Now, I do have to mention that I probably thought of Sith Warrior better then than I do now, because I went straight from blah to awesome. But even after having replayed Sith Warrior many times, I still enjoy it. I still like this story, and stuff like that is part of why. Someone asked, who was that? That was, looks like that was a Kavorch. That's von Falkenstein, I think. Asked, what do I think that reflection really was? How many times have I played through Sith Warrior? Oh, Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my 5th time playing Sith Warrior. I have never played Sith Warrior Evil, but I have seen it. A friend of mine played through it. So technically, this is the 6th time I've seen Sith Warrior. Think of that what you will. Looks like we need to do this first. Anyways, no, so we got a bunch of things to cover here, but before I forget, I do want to give the positive for that. Let me just jot that down there. Okay, so someone asked, you know, what the heck was that? Oh, hang on, I switched playlists just for that scene. Let me switch back to the desert playlist. There we go. I like to think that that was... Did I seriously just get slowed? I did. I like to think that this is something that the AU has codified, but the EU kind of played with. The idea that there's certain parts where effectively there are force ley lines is what I like to think of it as. Where there's just large amounts of force that automatically flow through and into and out of a specific spot, right? Yes, Crazy Norse. Once. Yeah, I'll tell you. Don't let me forget to tell you that story. I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, like they talk about ideas of, you know, this place is strong in the Force, or there's a nexus in the Force, or this place is affected by the Force, or whatever. It's a thing that the EU has played with and AU codified. So what I think happened is we went to a place that was very much bathed in the Force, just raw Force. And so what manifested is the most obvious thing to manifest from a Force user there. Our doubt. Everything that we are unsure about. Now, for those of you not aware, if you are full dark side and you go there, you see a light side version of yourself who tries to convert you, who tells you, oh, this is a path that will not lead you to good, and blah, 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 blah. So that actually does vary based on your leaning at that point in the story. And you can play that several ways. Basically, there's 4 total outcomes. You can be light and stick to light, be light and switch to dark, be dark and stick to dark, be dark and switch to light. And that's the other reason. Obviously, I can't show off all these permutations, but trust me when I say that they're there, which is the other reason I think that scene deserves a positive, because it's one of the more your choices actually freaking matter scenes in the entire game. You actually cannot be dead zero. If you'll notice, we're I can't tell what we are, but we are way light. We're only light 1. Wow, that's actually ridiculous. But to my knowledge, it's impossible to be dead zero, and if you are, I don't know what it does, so I don't have an answer for that.
Hale, check on Keeler and the others. See if they figured out anything with the artifact.
Sir, I'd like to hear what happened.
Follow orders. I'll brief everyone later. I've sent for water and Kolto, my lord. I'm sure the desert was agonizing, but we've been waiting for word. Any sign of Darth Silthar?
Your master was Sith until the end. It was a good death.
So, he really didn't make it then? Damn it! We all felt it, but we weren't sure. We're not blasted Sith. Without Silthar, we're just archaeologists with guns. Without him, this whole expedition falls apart.
It isn't over yet. I know where to find the Zerka base.
What are you talking about?
So who's ready for zombies? It's okay, they're cyborg zombies.
Captain Gola!
Blast Hale, now's not the time.
The artifact, the one the Jawas found. It's got Kayla. We disabled the dampeners, and there was a flash.
What? Start containment procedures now!
Second, actes de vertine.
Yeah, so, no. We're going to attack.
Tell me about the imprisoned one.
Or we're not.
Kila? Everyone, stay back.
So anyways, as I was saying... Technovirus. Reminds... Oh, I'm sorry. Dumb reference. I mean, it should Shadow Machine. It's friggin' archaeology in the Star Wars universe. I've actually thought that for a while too, Tyron, but we'll talk about that more later.
Those creatures, they were my team.
Sir, I think Perrin escaped. He was heading into the desert toward the tribal settlement.
Blast, we'll mourn later. You remember the sons of Palawa. You hit them hard in Mos Ila, but their main village is just a few clicks out. If that creature reaches them, this could get very ugly.
What makes you say that?
Basic rule of xenoarchaeology. You don't unleash a foreign technology into a population center, especially one with a man-machine interface. Worst case, the technology that changed Perrin could replicate. Every person in the settlement could be transformed.
No one deserves to go through that.
I can't say I disagree. I'm not optimistic, though. Reclamation Service protocol for contaminated sites mandates atomic heat cleansing of everything within a 100-meter radius. We've got a store of beradium explosives for that purpose. Enough to obliterate the Sun's cave village. But I hope it won't come to that.
What choice do we have?
If you're lucky, maybe you can take out Perrin before he reaches the settlement. Otherwise, plant the explosives, be careful with them, around the caves. One way or another, the contamination has to be eliminated.
Yeah, rule 1, don't be Umbrella. That's true for everyone, like not just xenobiologists. Oh, come on, game. One of the other questions someone asked is, how can you be a dark side user, a Sith, and use the light side? The first and most obvious answer is why couldn't you? Like, last I checked, there's nothing actually preventing you from using the light side as a Sith or the dark side as a Jedi. However, second and far more importantly, this is just my personal take on it, but I don't think that's actually what we're doing. I think we're just using the dark side for good. Let's be clear, the light side, dark side meter thing, this is a morality meter. That's how it is used and applied in this game. And the fact that a bounty hunter can gain light side points, or an agent can gain dark side points, is all you really need to know about that, in my opinion. Come on. For God's sakes. Do you mind? Yep, can't go in. I figured. Well, I may be about to die, so this should be fun. That button, do that. This, hit this. There we go. We're cool. We're cool. Thank you. Who is a Shadow Machine? Thank you. But yeah, that's my take on it. We are using the dark side for good. Because that's how I've always seen the Force, to be completely blunt. But more to the point, that is definitely how TOR leans in terms of interpreting the Force. And I can point to a dozen examples of that in this game. Dumber? Ooh, that's actually a tough one. Probably Wayland Yutani.
I knew the Empire used dishonorable tactics, but the ghost of the desert, do you know what it does to people?
Listen to me. The Empire isn't responsible for this attack.
It's a coincidence, then? Within the first minute, that terror changed good villagers into murderous machines. There's a war going on in these caves. Now I'll give my brothers the chance to win by keeping you from interfering.
To destroy those monsters, you'll need my help.
You began this feud. Why would you help now?
You're an idiot.
This is the right thing to do. That should be enough.
Never thought you were going to say that. If you really want to assist, I'll tell the others to let you through, at least until the crisis is over. If we destroy the ghosts fast enough, maybe we can stop them from replicating. But if even one survives, we start all over again.
I've heard a theory before that there's actually 2 layers to the light side, dark side thing, instead of 1 layer. Basically, the idea boils down to dark side for evil, dark side for good, light side for evil, light side for good. And the idea that what you're drawing on is literally different based on how you're drawing on it. Now you might think, what's the difference there? Well, the significance is the idea, at least as I've heard it described, is that if you are drawing on the dark side or the light side for something other than its intended purpose, it's actually more difficult for you to be corrupted by it. Less likely to give in to the dark side, as the saying goes, and less likely to become a pacifist, wussy, nobody-nothing, terrible, awful Jedi. Vrook! I sure hope so, Zoctaft. You'll never know. I am up to something about morality. It's the first one where 7 shows up, Arian. I'm behind, basically. Watermelons. I love watermelons. Tempering. I mean, tempering's pretty horrible and kind of unfixable. But I get you. Basically, yeah, Loner. Which is funny you use that as an example, because that should theoretically work perfectly. Yeah, actually, if you think about it, admittedly, a lot of this stuff and a lot of my thoughts on this boil back down to Palpatine. Now, there's a lot of stuff that's developed it since then, but even way back in the day, before the prequels even came out, I was thinking, how could Palpatine manage all that he did and be as precise and calculating and long-term thinking while constantly being angry and filled with the rage and hate? And I'm like, no, dude, what you're talking about is a very precise, calculating mind, right? And that was probably what initially started the thought process in my head that dark is not evil and light is not good. Then
The
KOTOR
ghosts
came
of the
along.
desert are gone, and the wind is still. The village is secure.
All right. Incinerate the corpses.
Yes, brother.
You saved our village. You know the sands well.
Now that it's all over, do we start fighting again?
No, we don't. It will take time to rebuild the settlement. Time we shouldn't spend in pointless battle. You acted honorably, and the blood feud can end.
You don't know how pleased I am to hear that.
However, I can't help suspecting you caused this attack. Intentionally or not, you awakened the desert's terrors. Leave our settlement. Leave Tatooine altogether. Never let us see you here again.
Yeah, it's totally happening. Jackass. Oh, yeah. Making a quick note for the rumination. No, it's actually... I like Star Trek, but one of the things that's pissed me off about Star Trek for years is the fact that they don't seem to have anything approaching professionalism whatsoever. I literally, in my real life experience, working at some dinky little company that barely matters on a local scale, have practiced better security processes than Star Trek does on a regular basis on a Galaxy-class starship, while in the middle of BF nowhere. That's an example of the light side for evil. I mean, other than Ericus, the most obvious example is the Jedi Council in KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2. Oh, that's right, they're not a military. That explains why they're morons. Silly me. Intent to stun, I suppose, Bugmite? I don't know. I guess we could ask Luke, because he did it. Yeah, let's not talk about that. Hey, Ensign Zeus. Yeah, no kidding, von Falkenstein. You know, the funny thing is, no, we're waiting. We're waiting. He's coming. At least I think he's coming. Like... Right, sorry, Cashwell. It's the minor province of a Starfleet officer to have military, yeah. Anyways, moving on. Now, to be clear, and I do want to be 100% clear about this, since obviously not all of you have seen all my stuff, and I've only been talking about Star Wars for like 8 years at this point, but I'm not saying that this is how the Force is, because that's exactly the opposite of what I'm saying. Everyone has their own interpretation of the Force, and with a couple exceptions, everyone's interpretation of the Force is valid. So, to be clear, I'm not saying that any of you are wrong for disagreeing with me any more than I'm saying I am right for having my own opinion. I mean, until the AU, the Force wasn't even codified, and even now, they're only starting to do that. Where are we at? What's the name of the Sith we spared on Nar Shaddaa as a Sith warrior?
Reading stable.
Yes, sir.
Rathari?
Stasis field's online.
Keep it that way. I don't want the artifact powering up again. You're looking all right. You caught up with that monster?
The ghosts of the desert live no more.
I'll take that as an affirmative. And I'm glad you could spare the village. No one deserves that. Those artifacts Zerka found, they must be capable of infecting people, transforming them. I don't know why you'd build a device like that. But some species did, long before humans lived on Tatooine. And the Reclamation Service has the job of bringing those artifacts home. Are you with us?
Sounds like you've got your fire back, Captain.
I had my moment of doubt. I saw Keela, Perrin, and Ban die because of it. What we've just experienced, the artifact powering on the takeover, I'm willing to bet Zerka went through the same thing. If we knew where to start looking for Zerka's base, we could scan for the artifact's power signal, track down the laboratory. Too bad Siltha didn't get more data.
The base is in the Sand People's cursed land. These drawings should show the way.
Yes. It's primitive, but it looks like a native map. We'll check its age, calculate the geographical changes since its creation.
I think we have it, sir. The natives' forbidden zone is in Sector 22G. I can start outfitting a probe immediately. Once you're in position, use this signal device to call the droid. It'll launch from here.
In the meantime, we've got friends to bury.
Listen, Ensign Zeus, it's fine. It's fine. It's just the Borg. Yeah, first you have to get on top of this really big wreck and wait for it to roam by it, von Falkenstein. And then it's like a 20-minute wait as you wait for it to go to the holocron. I might be exaggerating the 20-minute part, but that's the summary. I could probably find the wreck. In fact, I plan to go poke at the world boss while we're at it. And die to him. So, I've been typing up some stuff during some cutscenes to codify. Listen, it's not literally the Borg, it's just a dark side-driven cybernetic plague that converts people into corpses who are then enslaved into the will of a singular consciousness. We're in a hurry now, that's why this music's playing here. Yeah, the irony is it's actually a lot more low tier than the Borg. It's just about as horrifying. The difference is, to our knowledge, these people are not aware of the fact that they're, you know, alive. Yeah, this is basically a Reaper Husk thing. Unlike the Borg, where you're fully conscious the whole time while they're in control of your body. So, that's neat. This one here. I should probably... Hello.
displaying all authorized destinations.
Fine. Speaking of very, very large, open, arid, sandy areas... Welcome to the Dune Sea. Now this is nice looking, but it's also probably the emptiest and most boring zone in the entire game. Yes, I have a hover tank, complete with a gun. It's very cool. Hello, Adam. Ah. What's my favorite example of that speech? Oh, geez, I don't know. Yep, this is the Sith one, so we want to do this first. I'll wait for a few people to get a little closer, because I'm pretty sure it's going to start as soon as I walk in. Yep.
Master Yunlock, the Sith you've been tracking is upon us.
Idiot.
Retreat to safety. I will take the intruder on.
No, Yu Li. Control your feelings. Stand at my side. I will face this trespasser. Come no farther, Sith. I have been aware of your pilgrimage here. You are a fascinating and contradictory example of your order. I know why you've come. Master Nomen Kar's Padawan threatens you somehow. You seek to flush her into the open and silence her.
You've figured it out.
I will not allow it. It won't be the cause of her exposure. She came to me for guidance, and the bond we struck was the most profound of my life. We are psychically linked, she and I have already warned her about you. She will not fall for your manipulations.
I only seek to talk to her.
I will not fall for your manipulations either. The disparity in our capabilities is equal to the disparity in our age. You cannot win. Turn away now.
You're an idiot.
I fear no one.
This is not an attempt at intimidation, just a simple statement of fact. In me you face a full Jedi Master, and Yu Li has greater command of lightsaber combat than any Jedi Knight I've trained.
Color me nervous. Have we ever faced a full-fledged card-carrying Jedi Master before?
The Jedi have no idea how lethal you are, Bet.
I sense that's a bluff, but no matter. Your compatriot's query is moot, as you will be facing us on your own.
This fight can suck, Solo. Like, legit.
Well done, Master Yunlock. Now please, retreat and let me face the Sith.
Your concern is appreciated, Yu Li, but I did not seize the advantage here to immediately relinquish it.
Okay.
You don't fight fair, Jedi.
When the stakes are this high, I am bound to do whatever it takes to preserve the Order. Now for the last time, will you stand down?
You're a moron.
I don't respond well to threats.
Enough of this! It's useless to reason with the Sith.
Yu Li, don't! Blazes, my hand is forced.
Yeah, I liked how I got vet approves while she was unconscious. Ah, boom, boom, and boom.
Stop! Hold your weapon, Sith! I beg you.
Yu Li, stay your tongue.
No, she is just a Padawan. You are a great master. I must bargain for your life. Sith, I'll tell you everything I know, if you spare Master Yunlock.
Don't you want me to spare you, too?
My life is less important. You may do with me as you please. Her name is Jaisa Wilson, and Nomen Kar has taken her to...
Yu Li, you have no recollection of the Padawan this Sith seeks.
I have no recollection of the Padawan this Sith seeks.
Now, sleep.
Clonk.
I do not relish wiping Yu Li's mind like that, but his feelings for me got the better of him.
You realize that's not going to work on me, right?
Don't try that sorcerer's nonsense on me, Jedi.
Believe me, I would, if I didn't sense it would be futile. Jaisa is special, her power unprecedented. If untouched by the likes of you, she has the potential to lead the Jedi to greatness.
You understand nothing.
You're filled with presumptions, Yorlak. I mean her no harm.
I know your mind, Sith. You twist the truth and manipulate weakness. I must err on the side of caution. You know Jace's name, but that is all you'll get here. So you may as well kill me. I must find tranquility, so Jace will sense only peace when you strike me down.
Nah.
I refuse to deal the killing blow. Just tell her I want to talk.
You only wish to send a message? I am at a loss to understand you, Sith. Because of the link we share, Jason knows what transpired here. Your message has been received. She will do with it what she will.
I leave you to wrestle with what you did to your fellow.
I do feel the shame of my actions. It will be difficult to live with. Goodbye, Sith. You've left me with much to ponder.
That's my job.
Well, the rumors are true. Being paralyzed is a blast. You put on quite a show. I knew you were good, but,
Hope you enjoyed yourself?
Not at all. It was infuriating not being able to wipe the sweat dripping from my nose.
Sorry. I'll wipe the sweat from your brow.
Shark said she'd be at the ship. She thought we were done for. Can't wait to see the look on her face.
She will be surprised to see us.
I'll practice my smug look on the way there.
See, I do make a lot of fun for how rigid and zealot and stupid these guys are. But in the interest of total fairness, it is kind of rare to encounter a dark side user who is also a Sith apprentice to a Darth Lord who's a good person. So, you know, I mean, that is kind of an exception. However, I stand by making fun of them because what they do is automatically presume, and I don't know about you guys, but considering I tend to, you know, expect more of a Jedi who can read minds and feel the Force, you'd think a Jedi would be better than just, automatic presumption, right? Prejudging. But of course, that's Jedi for you, isn't it? Transmission plus plus. I love droid speak in this game.
Can you hear me, my lord? There's a sandstorm interfering with communications, but I wanted to report. The droids locked onto an underground power signature. Must be an artifact in the Zerka base. We've also found some kind of recorded message.
No kidding, Shadow Machine.
Don't keep me waiting.
Patching it through now.
Is this thing working? Last. Security Officer Gromik here. I'm the last man out. We've been ordered to seal Zerka's Secret Weapons Division 7. The base was compromised. We thought we had the problem contained to the artifact cave, but it didn't last. Okay, sealing the doors now. Anyone who sees this, don't come in. You don't want to. You really don't want to.
They lost the whole base. Imagine that. We've got fragmentary codes and coordinates, but you'll need to run additional scans to unlock the base. There may be more messages, too. We both know if anything is still alive in that base, you're our best chance of retrieving Zerka's artifacts. You'll have to go alone.
Only a Sith can understand true ancient power.
I like to think my years with the Reclamation Service count for something. But this is how it has to happen. Gola out.
Hang on, I have to kill Kay really quick. Because he still is refusing to work on the TOS thing. Listen, Kay, I don't know what it is that you hate about the original series. I would say both, Mr. Red. And again, we are a bit of an exception. Wrong way. That is worth keeping in mind. I've actually wondered to myself if it's possible to have an organization of Force users that's not a problem. You know? Because the Sith Order is a lot of the problem, and the Jedi Order is a lot of the problem. At least for certain interpretations of the Force. I should add that. push this side here. Damn those Knights of Zakul. I know so much about them. The Night Sisters. Yeah, I'm gonna spit on the Night Sisters really quick here. There we go. We're good, we're good. Look, the Night Sisters are cool and all, but yeah, they are manipulative, culty necromancers. They are not cool as an institution, which again fulfills the requirement I just mentioned. Yeah, exactly, Crazy Norse.
Dr. Sopran here. We've finished our initial catalog of the cave artifacts, which register as over 20,000 years old. You think that would narrow down the possible creators, wouldn't you? There weren't many societies capable of space travel in that period. But I can't find any society or species that fits these criteria. Even Gree technology isn't comparable.
Yeah, it's Ricotta.
Anyway, Dr. Lyric and I will study the primary device and assign lesser relics to the others to keep them busy. Hopefully, we'll find something useful. Zerka's going to make a fortune off this stuff if we can figure it out. End log.
Idiot. We've discovered ancient super tech. I can't wait to crack it open and see what happens. Oh, God! I mean, they've been basically imploding ever since they launched their initial attack at him. Just bit by bit. Yeah, I would rather be dead than part of the Jedi Order. But that's because I actually value the ability to use my brain. And the Jedi Order doesn't preach using your brain. The Jedi Order preaches dogma. I believe I'm using that word correctly. I guess doctrine is probably a better usage of, or a better word for what I'm thinking of here. Basically, this is what you should do, don't question it. And that's the Jedi Order.
This is Director Antaean speaking. As you know, workers' safety is one of Zerka's top priorities, and we take accidents seriously. Therefore, due to concerns surrounding studies of the device, we are implementing a new policy. Anyone wishing to perform a physical inspection of the device must get written authorization from myself and Dr. Daigo. Research using droids and remote scanners may continue normally. Please note that this does not affect our division's overall schedule.
Yeah, see, if you asked me if I had to pick Sith or Jedi, I'd probably go with Sith, because I'd rather die than be reprogrammed. And that probably says something about how little I think of both options there. So, no thank you. The world is on my glasses. Nah, I'm just going to rewipe them. Listen, Kara White Noise, just because there's always some kind of super significant thing on Tatooine, because Luke was there.
I want my concerns on the record before more people get hurt. I'm worried about the device. Its energy readings keep fluctuating, and it appears to be trying to link with the lesser artifacts. I think it's a weapon, maybe a bomb. Sopran's theory about it being a Gree Enclave creation are inane. We've already got evidence of an ancient alien civilization visiting Tatooine, and they weren't Gree. We've seen similar technology in the Kashyyyk Shadowlands. I'm sure the Infinite Empire is tied to the device's origins, no matter what anyone says, and I'm tired of being ignored.
Now, I hope you were paying attention to that. Hey, it's the balloon. Because if you weren't paying attention to that, I just want to make this very clear, and I actually am very amused by this. I love the idea that the reason this got out of control was because one guy got pissy about the fact that he wasn't being taken seriously, and so he decided to push it. Yeah, hey, Von Falkenstein, hey! If I can actually see you up here. Hang on. They should be in broadcast order, although every now and again I change the order to better suit our schedule. But that is in broadcast order. As is. Look at this weird chop we're having. Look at those. Nah, looks like hang on, let's go into first person mode. Nah, I can't see you. Darn it. Yeah, it might be a different balloon. Because I thought there was... No, I guess there's only just the one. Whatever. Whatever. Anyways. Point man. Yeah, that used to happen a lot in the EU. I don't know if it ever happened in the EU.
Well, Dr. Lyric is gone. He's put in for a transfer and is heading back to Anchorhead, taking one of the lesser relics with him. Good riddance. He was a pain to work with. Still. Lyric's theory about an ancient infinite empire and a master alien species was fringe science at best, but some of his data makes sense. I'm going to run a new series of tests tomorrow, using a remote arm to open up the device. We'll see where it goes from there.
You just need even hotter air, Tesla. I don't know. Twin Suns. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. The Infinite Empire is a hack theory at best, Zactap. I have yet to see any convincing evidence in the modern era that Darth Revan found some secret hidden empire from 20 millennia ago, 3 centuries ago. Pfft. It's on random, okay? So... What huge Star Forge? I have yet to see any evidence of this other than Republic propaganda. That they saved the galaxy. Yeah, sure they did.
This is Director Antaean to all Zerka employees. Please listen and remain calm. A few minutes ago, we experienced a minor equipment failure in the main laboratory. As a precaution, we are initiating lockdown procedures. Do not attempt to override the system, so the computers will respond with force. Stay where you are, and you'll be alerted when the situation resolves.
Spoilers. It was never resolved.
Tas men jetske fulpa, ke galjestenti.
Yeah, admittedly, if you asked me the "do you want to be a Force user" question, my first thought is how quickly I can get out of being a Force user, because I actively do not want to be a Force user. Like, actively would prefer... I would rather have mutant powers, or magic, or just about anything else, rather than the Force. No, Adam. Yeah, Malik called up the USS Enterprise. I was like, can I get a few dozen warships, please? Thanks. Why not? You're kidding, right? And that's my answer to that. If that doesn't get it across, I got nothing. Yeah, having the Force is like being a mage in Dragon Age. That's actually a good comparison. Not as bad, but it's still definitely leaning in the same direction. I would rather not have magic in Dragon Age. Cool down. Of course it is. It's okay, Von Falkenstein. That balloon is more important than anything. Are we gonna seriously finish the planet by the time you've done the balloon? Tower Mage. Oh, from Dragon Age? I mean, if... Am I going the wrong way? I am going the wrong way. My bad. If I had to choose between being a Dragon Age mage or a Force user, I'd take being a Force user and then I'd kill myself. In Dragon Age, killing myself might not fix the problem. And no, I wouldn't be a Force ghost. That's just prolonging the problem. Especially since in the EU there's something called a second death, which is pretty unpleasant, by all accounts. Just look at, Frida Nod had the second death. That was fun. Give you a rundown of the negatives of being a Force user. Look up 2 sentences to what Kira White Noise said, because she summarized it better than I could. I'm not good at summarizing. Force bad! There you go, there's your summary. The funny thing is, the Force is something I wouldn't want in almost all of the interpretations of it. That's the funny part. Like, there's so many different interpretations of the Force, but all of them suck to some extent or another. Just get a Salamiri and just hang around with it constantly. When the list opens back up, Indiana Joe. AKA when the list is down to about 40 things, rather than 103. Here's the imprisoned one. I am the imprisoned one. Few beings have the strength to resist us, but you have earned my respect. We may share words. Yeah, TOR has too many Rakata. I agree. I am Rakata. It is the name of my people. Eons ago, our infinite empire ruled this world, and so many others. Yeah, like 5. I reached for greater majesty, and my people sealed my mind in this box as punishment. I drifted in whiteness for over 20,000 years.
Harsh punishment. What were you trying to do?
I sought to dance among star temples and understand dark times. In truth, I remember little. When your Zerka Corporation found my prison, I touched this world again. I created skin vessels and machine hands. I find your galaxy wanting. I choose to remake it and give birth to a new infinite empire. No?
You think a lot of yourself.
You truly do not comprehend me. I'd hoped for more. You will lead our army out of the sands. This world's settlements will fall, and my skin vessels will proceed to the stars. Yeah, no. Beep, boop. Destroy. Destroy. Defeat the ambush that's way over here and... Oh, maybe it's back over here. Did they just spawn? They did just spawn. Hang on. It's an attack of the clones, guys! Sorry. Sorry. So, for those of you who are not reading chat or want me to actually say out loud what's going on about, you know, the Force and why the Force would be something I would not want to be a part of. So the first problem is no matter which side you use of the Force, you have a theoretical problem. This is true in most interpretations of the Force. You basically become drunk on it, and it starts to affect you. It's a feedback loop. You use X, X uses you. Pretty simple. Now, the most obvious example of that is the dark side, but there are several indications, and in several interpretations, this is also true of the light side. You become too passive, too willing to just do nothing, and blah, blah, blah. We will actually be seeing an example of that on Hoth, although I don't remember if that's Sith Warrior line or not, but there is a guy on Hoth who has gone too far to the light side. And, yeah, he's, content to sit there and meditate for the next century or two. Basically. Like, that's what light side drunk looks like. There's also the fact that the Force has its own free will, so to speak. It has a plan and a goal, and you're part of it, maybe. Probably. No more. Let the destruction end. I believe the information in Zerka Archives had prepared me for this confrontation. I was mistaken. Your empire is not the house of mindlessness, Zerka was. I'm going to freaking kill you and destroy you forever because you are a cybernetic plague.
You want to say anything else before I destroy you?
Like, seriously. One final offer. My fate, the fate of the Infant Empire, is now within your control. You might destroy my prison and end my eons-long existence, but bring me to your masters instead, and I will aid them in my surrender. I will reward you with technology your kind has never seen. No! All of the nope.
You've lived too long already.
Wow, that's the light side choice. Huh. Where's my lightsaber? No, whatever. So, of course, it was a load-bearing boss. Yeah, for once. Crazy Norse. It does happen. Anyways. So that's the main problem with the Force and being a Jedi, and why I, personally, would never want to be either. I don't want to be a Force user. Thank you. Oh yeah, where are we turning in? Oh, the world boss. Ah, it doesn't matter. All that was going to happen was he was going to kill me quickly anyways. Let's move on. Where he is off the top of my head. What do you sort of be other than human? In Star Wars? Jawa, Sith, Chiss would be cool. I could be a Togruta. I could go with that. Well, let's probably chop it off there. I wouldn't want to be Wookiee, because I would want to take care of my fur, and that would just be a nightmare. I hate hair so much I chopped off all mine. Oh, right. Sorry. Hairless Wookiee. Ah! No, I don't want to be a spikehead either. Leave me alone or I'll kill you. This is a very simple choice. Utini! Utini means let's go, though. Actually, I from my understanding, Utini can mean like 50 different things, depending on how you say it.
My lord, you're back. I wasn't expecting you to be so quick.
Your power is impressive, even among the Sith.
I'm sure you want to rest up, but I'd like to hear. Did you find the artifacts?
Uh-huh.
I found a creature, a Rakata, trapped in one of the devices. It's been buried under the desert all this time.
Could you communicate with the creature? Is it... Can we talk to it?
It was completely not so.
Apparently 20,000 years of isolation can drive a creature mad. I had to destroy it.
I understand. I've heard stories. Service members discover ancient droids, lost colonies. It never ends well. Still, we've got one artifact, and there's always Zerka's records. It's a victory, if not one for the history books. With Darth Silthar gone, I am in charge. You ever need our help, you know where to find me.
You're not without skill, Captain. I'll remember your offer.
You're too kind, my lord. Safe journeys out there. And be careful. This galaxy has a lot of old secrets. Once you start seeing them, they tend to start looking back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Malachor is pure evil. Confirmed. Like, you want to be a Zeltron, fine, whatever. But, like, you want to drink people's brain juices? What the hell, man? You just want Solo soup, admit it! Yeah, we'll be doing Alderaan next. Which also means... Shadow Machine will be leaving the party in favor of von Falkenstein. Did I go to the wrong spot? Nope, I'm right. Good night, Adam. I was actually about to say, I just noticed we're actually having our break first. God. Tatooine took a bit, didn't it? So we'll be doing Alderaan after the break. But we do need to finish up Tatooine first, so let's go ahead and do that real quick, like. It's a common joke. Well, you know what? I'll say the joke. Don't let me forget to say the Alderaan joke when we come back. Because, yeah. Hey, guess who's alive? Where the heck is... Get out of here, vet.
Good to stretch the old legs.
I never expected to see you again. Does this mean you've ventured beyond the Forbidden Pass?
Nah, I give up.
Master Yonlock?
The mission is complete.
This is a great lesson. The only barriers that exist are the ones we create in our minds. I will never again assume that I know all there is to know, and I will explore the entirety of the Tatooine Desert without reservation.
You have learned much from this.
I hope Lord Barriss knows how fortunate he is to have such a fine champion shepherding his cause. I shall never forget you.
I bid you farewell.
Safe travels, my lord. If you're ever on Tatooine again, come and see me.
Ugh.
And then she's dead.
I hope we never come back to the sandy inferno. It's bad for my complexion.
If we never return here, I won't miss it.
Glad we're on the same page.
Nobody likes Tatooine, let's just be honest about it. Yeah, Sith Warrior can flirt with so many people, it's ridiculous.
Do you require anything, Master? A hot meal, perhaps?
You have done admirably, apprentice. Your time on Tatooine was well spent. Noman Carr's Padawan Jaso Wilson no longer enjoys anonymity. I am very pleased.
I'm touched by your enthusiasm.
Your handling of Master Yonlock has sent our enemies a clear message. Noman Carr and Jaso Wilson now know they cannot hide. It gnaws at the Master, and will bring his prized Padawan to her knees.
I cannot wait to get my hands on them.
I believe that moment is rushing toward us. Only Alderaan remains. Jason Wilson's homeworld. Go there immediately. I will contact you when you arrive.
But wait, Quinn has something to say. Oh wait, no he doesn't. Screw Quinn! Nobody likes him! Sorry. Dumb statement.
You know, I never thought much about being a Twi'lek when I was younger. Even on Ryloth, there were lots of other types of people. As far as I could tell, people like me were just the ones who made the best slaves. Wasn't much to be proud of, you know?
Like one of the options is, your people make great slaves.
Your perspective changed as you got older.
It wasn't getting older. It was meeting Twi'leks that weren't helpless. When I left Noct Draen's gang, I joined up with a group of Twi'lek artifact hunters. They were all young too, full of fire and Twi'lek pride, out trying to recover our heritage.
So it wasn't just about stealing anything they could get their hands on. They wanted Twi'lek historical pieces.
Well, sometimes they took other jobs to pay the bills. But it really was about returning Twi'lek artifacts to Twi'lek owners. I made friends in the new gang. But it wasn't until we did our first job together that we were family. There was this rich Duras scumball, Kata Bliss. Obsessed with Twi'lek women, artifacts, clothes, anything. We took him for everything he was worth.
This Carter Bliss sounds like a moron. He let a group of angry kids rob him.
He was a lot of things. Most of them terrible. Anyway, we were flying high. Did a couple more jobs together. Then came Korriban. And I guess you know how that ended up.
I got a new slave. I'm just kidding. Of course I freed her. Why the hell wouldn't I? I'll say Noct Draen is smuggler, I want to say? Question mark? I don't remember all the names that well, so forgive me for being a moron. Let me look something up real quick. That's what I thought. So I haven't updated the HUD for a bit. Why don't we bake this in here? Yes, I know, Zaktoft. So I'm still debating... Nah, I'm not. I'm debating one. But you know what I'm not debating is... those. I'm also not debating... Atris? Atris? I forget what you want me to write it down as. Millions. Into exile I must go. Oh, the IRS millions I do. Where is that? Give me 1 second, sorry guys. Okay, never mind. Thank you very much, Kemek. Very much obliged and appreciate as always. Thank you. I will jot that down for the LEGO ISD. Sorry, I had to look something up real quick just to verify. Okay. Get rid of that. I guess I've already codified all those negatives, yeah. And that's codified too. Okay, we're caught up. We're caught up. So the other thing I wanted to check, I kind of want to knock out several of these. Where's the? Did I close it? I closed it. Of course I did. I kind of want to knock out other flashpoints too and get those, out of the way and done with. So I'm thinking we should hit Katamimu or Katamimu or how the hell you say that. In fact. Why don't we go here?
Welcome back, Master. I've just completed a new meal plan for your company.
Did he just call me fat? No. How do you update a hut? With Yamek sauce. Is beating your droid a crime? Legally? No. That's what I'm thinking, Shadow Machine. I'd kind of like to get Kadamimu and possibly Boarding Party out of the way. Which one's Boarding Party? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I think that's the one. No thank you, Indiana Joe. I have the mount I want. Kadamimu and Red Reaper. What the heck is Red Reaper? I guess we could do Red Reaper instead. Sure, fine. We'll do Red Reaper and Kadamimu. Yeah, as I say, Boarding Parties, if memory serves, that was the first Revan one, and we probably shouldn't actually do that yet. We'll save that for later. So we'll do Kadamimu and Reaper. This is the weirdest order of instances. Like, I'm looking at a guide here, and it's like, you should do Kadamimu, then Boarding Party, then Tarl 5, or the Foundry, then Colicoids, then Red Reaper, then Directive 7, and the Battle of Elam. Oh, and also the False Emperor. Anyways, that'll be once we come back in about an hour.